All right, good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the Public Safety and Licensing Committee for November 28th, the meeting thereof. So, thank you all for being here. We have a lot of folks here. We have a very long agenda. We'll do our best to get through it. I have a list of people that have signed up to talk. I know on specific items. What I'll also do is I will, as we go through the items, see if there's anybody who has any, would like to voice an opinion on any item as we go through them as well. So, if you've been called in, you will definitely get the opportunity to talk, and anybody else then, we'll invite them to talk as we get through our discussion here. So, with that, we will get started. First item is approval of minutes for the October 24th meeting. Vice Chair?
I will move to approve. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any additions, corrections, omissions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. First item of true business, 853-22, communications for a massage establishment license, Main Massage, doing business as Main Massage, located at 1324 Main, Chunrong Lu, or Lee, owner. So, do we have, please come on up. I don't need to swear in for a massage license. Okay, all right. Thank you for coming out. My first question is going to be for staff here. Is everything in order on the application as far as we are concerned? Okay, maybe just give us a quick overview of your business, what you're offering, the hours, those kind of things, and we can.
Sure. I'm kind of here because she's still taking her English classes.
Oh,
and it's a little challenging. So
appreciate that.
If you'll bear with us here. You give an overview of the business, things like your hours,
services,
operation,
and services.
Services. Nine thirty to 9:30.
Okay.
6 days? 7 days?
No, 6 days.
6 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
6 days a week.
No Sunday, I assume that means?
No Sunday.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and is it purely massage? Is there other?
Purely massage.
Okay.
Just for a quick clarification, it says Sunday through Monday on the application, so.
That would be 7 days, yeah.
Yeah, the application says.
Sunday through Saturday.
No, 1
Oh.
6
No,
days.
what?
6 days.
6 days, yeah.
So,
The application said Sunday through Monday.
no, it says Sunday through Saturday, which is eventually 7 days.
Okay.
Sorry.
So which day will she not be
The
open?
application said 7 days, it's actually 6 days.
No, maybe more 1 go, 7 days.
Oh,
Yeah.
I understand. She's in the process, she's trying to hire another worker, and not much luck right now, but if she finds another worker, then it would be for the 7 days.
Okay, so she's looking at the 7 days a week then.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Alder Peterson. Any questions from anyone else on the committee?
Just one, is this a new application or a renewal?
Isn't there a shop over there?
Because of this one, yeah.
Okay, because I know usually renewals, we just, okay. That's all I had
I
there.
thought there was a shop over there already.
What kind of services will you be offering?
Kind of services will you be offering? Types of massage?
I do.
Not quite sure of the term, but it's basically just, I would say like a shiatsu massage.
Okay. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, Alder Brilliant.
I do see, I'm just on Google Maps right now, and it says Main Body and Foot Massage that was currently at that location. Is Alder Co., are you the Alder in this district?
No, it's fourth district.
Oh, it's fourth? Oh, my gosh. Oh, Maine, I'm sorry. That's way over there. Yeah. So, this is a new application, but it's taking up the existing space?
There was that I do know the answer to.
Okay.
The business was there before, and then the owner of that business sold it to, Chung Rong Lu here.
Okay. You're right. All right.
And then if I could just
Yes,
ask
oh,
you-
please carry on.
Had, you worked at the previous location? No, this is something.
Sorry.
Okay, no, that's okay, just looking for the answer, so wherever
Sure.
it comes from is fine. Thank you.
All right, if there's no other questions, a motion is in order.
I would like to approve this communication for the massage establishment license, located at 1324 Main Street.
We have a second to that motion.
Oh, did I second?
Yes, all right, motion and properly second. Any further discussion on the item? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. This still goes to common council then, right? So there's one more meeting, the common council meeting,
Okay.
next Monday?
Yeah.
Next Tuesday, thank you.
Is that something she should be recording?
Shouldn't need to be there.
Okay, very good.
Be very unusual if anything came up.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for getting us in and out so quick.
Item 854-22, communications regarding an application for massage establishment, Relax Spa Massage Incorporated, located at 5110 Washington Avenue, Chung Gu Chen. Yes, please come up. So this will be very much like the last one?
Yeah.
Staff, is everything in order on the application? And this is a new application then?
Yep.
Again? So, same questions to start off. Please tell us about your business, especially hours and services being offered.
7 days, at 9:30 to 9:30.
Okay. And services being offered? Just massages? What kind,
Just full body massage.
just full body massages? Okay. All right. Do we have any questions from committee members? Alder Caprellian?
Yeah, I have the same question. I'm just looking online. I looked at the address and I see that Joy Spa Massage is there. Any affiliation, or can you talk about, did you just take over a previous massage establishment?
Just a regular.
What's that, I'm sorry?
What you talking about?
I just see at that location, there, is a spa located there. You are a brand-new applicant, gonna be working in that location. And did you have any affiliation with the last
Did you work at,
business that was in there?
For what?
did she or you work at the previous business? Did you buy the business from them?
No, just a new.
Brand new, so doing,
Are you the alder there?
12.
You are the alder?
oh,
Could I ask Alder Perez?
thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
th-
I have a couple questions that I'd like to ask. First of all, this is a new license. I've been there since I saw it on the agenda, when the agenda came out. And there was a sign on that said massage open
Yeah.
with several cars parked in front. So I don't know if they were doing business without a license at that point. The other question I have is, on the application, they only have one person working. Is this one person, the only person that's gonna be there from 9:30 to 9:30 every day, 7 days a week? And if not, then the application needs to be updated.
Okay.
Or, well, and the question that I have is, why was the sign on that said massage and open if they had no business license yet to go forward with it?
All right, those are all questions worth asking. Have you, there's a business at that address right now, in the same kind of business. Is that you operating that business now, or is that the previous owner operating that business?
Yeah, but I'm just rented. I have old address before. I just call the new phone and just send the old address.
I'm not sure I understand the response. Anybody?
Has she started the business yet?
Not yet,
Not yet?
not yet. I just get a phone business, just an old store right now.
Okay.
I have a different store.
And how many people will be working there?
Just one.
Just one? She's gonna work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week?
No, sometimes open, no busy, I'm just off. I'm just at the hour, sometimes no busy, just.
Okay.
Okay, so the massages could occur between the hours you said, 7 days a week, but she will be there only when there's an appointment?
Yeah, just do appointment and just open,
And you're aware if anybody else needs to go in there, the application needs to be amended if she gets any other workers.
Get to work.
If you get any more, you have to come back to us. Any more workers.
No, maybe busy, I did for the application, for the find another worker.
So, if that happens, that, we need to be notified of that, correct?
Yes.
So, okay, so that's a future thing. Alder Perez?
There was no massage parlor there before.
It's good.
That area was, empty, as far as I can recall, because I walked that not too long ago. I didn't see that there. The other part of it is that who was in the business why was there an open sign in the massage if nobody was there? Because there's no phone listed that I could see that was there.
Is Joy Spa Massage, are you connected with that? The name Joy Spa Massage?
It's for a relax spa massage.
What's
Relax spa massage for the downtown region.
At 551
510.
Washington Avenue. It's on Google as Joy Spa Massage. That is not you?
It's me. It's me.
It is you.
Yeah.
This is gonna be opening up as a different spa. We don't have a spa at that location currently though, but this is coming up as a spa. This is a new application, correct?
Yeah, this is a new application.
Was there one at that we have record of? So I guess what I need clarity, and I know I keep asking, but maybe I'm just not understanding, is if these applicants are connected with the Joy Spa Massage
Which claims to be at this address.
that claims to be at this address. And that may be, did you happen to notice the name, Alder Perez?
I did not. It just kind of surprised me when I saw the lit up sign that said massage open, 3 or 4 cars parked right in front of the door, which I'd never seen before, and kind of caught my attention as I drove by.
Okay.
I had walked that area previously when I went to get Domino's pizza, and saw that there wasn't anything there.
Yeah.
So unless they just did a Google application and got their website up just now, I don't see how that could have been connected otherwise. But my concern is this, if they're already in business without a license, then something needs to be done about that.
This picture is showing up on September 2022.
Yep. Yes. I'm just a renter. I'm just fix something up.
It has not been up for business, open for business?
Not open yet. Just call a customer
There
phone. I get a customer
is
phone.
a review on
Wait.
here, however.
But, okay,
Nothing.
hang on one moment now, please. The city attorney's office has observation.
According to our system, it looks like the original application was submitted back in July of 2022. It stayed with the city clerk's office for quite some time and is now being referred to the committee. So perhaps because there was a delay, they believed that they were open. The city clerk's office would speak as to why, but it looks like the original application was submitted in July of this year for the same business.
City clerk's office?
So it was just submitted in July. Unfortunately, my staff did not know it needed to go to public safety and licensing before it could be printed, and I had no awareness that it was brought to our office and entered. So it was a clerical error on our end with a mistake, and so as soon as I found out, I had put it on the next agenda that we had.
So was the paperwork sent to them? Did the clerical error also include them filling it out and just doing it administratively?
No, there was no license was ever sent to them,
Okay,
just the application was taken.
okay, so our understanding is you applied in July, now finally at the committee for approval.
Mhm.
It sounds as though you may have been operating in between. Have there been massages happening there? You've been taking phone calls and massages have been happening?
No, just take the customer go to 403 6th Street downtown, Racine. I have another store.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it.
Hmm.
That one not open yet.
Okay. Yes, Alder Spelling.
So my concern is, there is a Google review for the 5110 Washington Avenue 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
So somebody did go 3 weeks ago to 5110 and got a massage at that location. The only reason this is a concern to me is we ask to do our due diligence on this end. We need to absolutely know as much that comes from the applicant as possible, and without us having to investigate or navigate these applications looking for false information. Just because we have a job to uphold public safety for the community, and there is a licensing process that goes through the city. So it does concern me as we're asking questions that I feel like we're not getting truthful answers. I don't know if it's a misunderstanding. I understand you have another location on Main Street. I get that. I understand it. And I think it sounds like when people call a certain number, that it transfers and you schedule appointments on Main Street. However, the review that's online is connected to 5110 Washington Avenue. So it concerns me. I don't think, I hope, I think is maybe the rightful word, that you're gonna have a fraudulent business, but we need to create a partnership. The city and the business owners need to have a truthful partnership, just so we can both do our jobs. So I'm having a little hard time with this application. I just wanna let you know that. And, so if there's any clarity that you can bring to this misunderstanding, if that's what it is, I would love to hear it out now.
So,
I think there's a language issue.
I think there is a language issue. The question is, ultimately,
We can use an app, could we not, for translation?
Yeah.
Should I ask of that? Would it be
we
better?
did it with the
Yeah.
last folks. Do you have an English translation app with you?
Give me 1 second.
Thank you. There's their English translation.
你现在有空吗？没有，翻译的话，几乎都看。
Don't even need to work on it, it's not an app, I'm happy to do it,
Oh.
for tell me it's.
Yes.
I think they have someone who can translate.
So I think we got a translator, not an app.
Thank you.
My sister.
Oh, hello. Hi, you are a part of the Public Safety and Licensing Committee for the City of Racine. And we had some questions because there's an application that's before us for the Relax Spa Massage Incorporation. And the questions are, first and foremost, has this location been open?
You mean, will the location be open?
Nope, I want to know what date it opened. I'm just going to move it. Okay.
Let me ask them.
Okay, and Nina.
佢聽佢摸拿其他搞得，我佢咪佢摸啊，佢咪佢摸那個，我那個我經理之類，營業之少到人佢摸當。
你講你那你大家咩啊？佢啊？
但係我當你營業之少實多樣，我就經
在整我講的。
Okay. Hello? You still there?
Yes, we are here.
Okay, so basically she's not gonna open the Relax Bar yet until we get the license.
Thank you. The question is, has it already been open? We see that there is business that was conducted out of that location 3 weeks ago when I Googled it online. So we're just looking for some clarification on that.
Okay, yes, because we are just doing the advertisement first, and then, and everything is just waiting for, like, the license. So it's like, we just, have everything set up first, and then just wanna wait for the license, then we can officially open. Because right now, we just have, like, I guess my auntie, she's just trying to organize everything and put the sign and so everyone from the neighborhood will know, oh, this gonna be at the spa location open.
Thank you for being our translator. The question, though, is we are seeing signs that the business already has been doing massages out of that location. We are looking for clarity why we're seeing that.
Okay, let me ask him. 他说你这个
I'm
为什么
sorry.
没有
No, no,
意
it's
识
fine.
到你就开门啊？他说你看见3个订地之
Ready to
前
pull the
就已
plug
经
on
开始啦。
the deferred.
没有开，但是我就是开着，就是偶尔做一下广告而已，就没有做。但是有的客人我就是我把他调在我这个旧店嘛，我不是六街这边。
OK， OK 啦，因为都没有接过客人啊。
对对对，但是我有做广告，开着做的广告就是这样。
Thank you. Okay.
So basically, that's one thing, like, she just opened that for the advertisement, and once the customer come in, and we just let them know, we have the other outlets are open in the, like, old address that we have, but we're gonna open that soon until we get the license. That's what we told the customers, so that's not open. We haven't opened the new location yet, and when customer come in, and we just ask them, oh, there's a new one, new location open, and it will be this one, like the one that you're seeing now. And we ask the customers to go the older one, and for the service.
Thank you for your answer. Again, this is Alder Caprillion, and I'm not sure if any of the other aldermen would need your service. Thank you for the translation.
Yep, please hang on, yes.
If you could hold on,
I
please,
heard
if you
everything
will.
fine.
Okay,
Pardon?
I heard everything fine.
okay.
Okay.
你跟他们现在
Questions for me?
生意嘛，根本就没
Did you have
生
questions?
意。
No questions for me?
Questions?
没关系，我可以说吗？拜。
Okay. We have no further questions to be asked, so I guess a motion is in order.
I think the alderman.
Oh, yes, Alder Perez.
Was that possibly a fake Google review?
It,
It could be.
I mean, I don't know if I really want to say it, I don't want to, but it talks about the prices, it talks about the quality of the massage, it talks about the demands of the staff.
But there would be no staff, right? Because you said she'd be the only one, right?
Well, how I'm reading this, I'm
No, no.
being vague,
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it could be just a fake review so people can read something positive.
It's a 1-star review.
Look, somebody from one of the old, man.
It is a 1-star review from 3 weeks ago. So we don't have this this Google reviewer before us, so.
Right now, it's he said, she said.
Mhm.
Sorry, what was that?
Well, right now, it's he said, she said, or she said, he said.
Exactly.
Yep.
Okay, all right. I'm ready to make a motion, and I can make a statement afterward,
Yep.
if that's okay.
See if the motion gets seconded.
If it gets seconded. I'm gonna make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Alder Capellian, would you like to speak to your motion?
I would like to speak to my motion. So I think the risk for public safety is low, I'm hoping, for a massage parlor. I hope I will never eat those words. I don't feel comfortable when I feel that the application doesn't quite match when we have the applicants before us sharing what their business plan is and opening day. To me, we're already getting signs of the way that our communication will work from here on out that makes me really uneasy. And normally, I would go with the side of, if I feel there's some dishonesty, I will not approve it. I am thinking of the public safety, and I am hoping you are offering massages that are going to calm our community and bring forth some positive business. I just ask that any future business adjustments that you make, please update the city of Racine and work, and feel free, you could bring a translator in to, thank your sister, for helping us, this evening. But just know, I am going forward very cautiously with my, motion to approve. And, I hope that it doesn't come back and bite me, so.
Comments, discussion from anybody else? All right, the motion is to approve, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, you are approved, but you will not have your license until after the city council meeting next Tuesday, and then you hear from the clerk. So you're still 10 days out approximately from receiving your license.
Okay.
I'm sure Alderman Perez will be going on some walks in the meantime then as well. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
851-22, communication for a gas service station license, Georgetown AM at the Georgetown Market on Meacham Road. Mr. Patel. Patel, or anybody on this item? Okay. Clerk's office, is everything in order on this?
Yep, for the gas station, service, yes, it is.
Okay. Alder Jarrett, yes.
Okay, so, it looks like they're not here. I don't know if it's something we can defer to the next, meeting. I did have some concerns. I spoke to Attorney New, and it seems like this gas station, Georgetown Market has been there for a very long time. I live in Georgetown area. It looks like whoever their, previous, person who held the agent, quit the job and then turned in all of those licenses. However, it looks like they were also using a license that they weren't supposed to at the time. Attorney New, if you could correct me if I'm wrong.
Sure. So, like, there was a new owner that took over the business in March of this year. The agent was the same agent as the previous owner. He continued on with the new owner. And I'm not sure if the new owner submitted paperwork with the city clerk's office when he took over in March.
Change of agent?
Okay.
PSL and everything when they took over.
Okay, so it looks like he did apply for the proper paperwork, he did take over, it wasn't in the system when I looked at it, so I must have been looking at the wrong thing. The previous agent surrendered all of their license, including the gas station, the tobacco and cigarette license, and the alcohol license. So the owner is now reapplying for all of these licenses. At the current moment, he's only applying for a gas station, which is before you, it's a cigarette license, but you might see an alcohol license come back in the future.
I'm happy to make a motion to defer.
Alder Coe.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I was gonna ask that this item be deferred whether they were here or not. I talked to the former agent, and she's willing to, send a statement to us about the problems that were going on there and why she surrendered the license. And I apologize, you just got a hold of her today, but she's willing to do this. And I want that to be in place also.
Was it a problem with the new management, or was it something
Yes, there
before?
was problems. There was one thing I heard, they had a
Okay,
underage,
okay, we have in front of us a gas station license, and only a gas station license, not a tobacco license. That is not on the agenda. The only thing on the agenda is a gas station license.
I think it was tobacco as well.
I think there was
Yeah, there
tobacco
was
and
tobacco
beer.
as well.
Well, those are in the supporting packet. The agenda item is for a gas station license. Nothing except the gas station license. That's all we are considering at this point.
Like it's a gas station license as well as a cigarette and tobacco license. The way it's written on the agenda doesn't describe all the applications.
The agenda is the public notice. This is what people can reasonably expect will be voted on today. We are voting on a gas station license and only a gas station license.
Cigarette does not need to come through licensing by itself. It was part of his packet when he turned in all this paperwork, so that is.
So that's happening administratively, or?
All cigarettes go.
Okay, that's fine then. So again, we're voting only on a gas station license today. We're not voting on a liquor license if we choose to pick this item up. So I'm gonna leave that to the committee to decide whether they're comfortable with a gas station license, knowing there's a pending potential liquor license application coming in as well. Whether, I would ask, is the request for possible deferral, inclusive of a gas station license?
Oh, inclusive of, yes.
Okay, so we have a request for, at least one request for deferral for a gas station license.
Yep.
Meaning they can't, that business at that point then is selling potato chips basically then, and cigarettes.
And meat, we have a meat market.
Yes, they have that license going.
Mm.
So, we have a request for deferral, and I'm gonna leave it to the vice chair to make a motion.
I will not make that motion. Was that motion already made?
There's not been a motion made,
No. I would actually make a motion to approve the gas station license.
do we have a second on that motion?
Second.
Okay, you'd like to speak to your motion?
The former agent turned in some licenses that are not before us this evening. So to shut down a business that the community and the neighborhood have been relying on for gas and food or whatever else, I think it would be irresponsible of our committee to close the doors to that business because we closed the doors to the convenience of the neighborhood as well. I think there is warrant of a conversation when the applicant is before us, when he applies for any of the liquor license or to what class liquor license that comes before us. But to shut down the gas station without having heard from the former agent, that's not relevant to this, and not having the applicant here would be irresponsible on our part. That's why I make a motion to approve.
Other comments on the discussion of the motion? Yes, Alder Coe.
I think they should be here, you know, this is a new application, and we shouldn't approve it without them being here. But we've never done that, before on a new license.
I'm going to ask the city attorney's office on that before we move on. Alder Peterson?
Sorry, what was the question?
The question is there a requirement or practice for gas station license applicants to attend this meeting? Were they ordered to appear for this?
In my notes that I have, correct me if I'm wrong, if they don't need to appear for a new gas station.
Okay, I just want to verify something real quick.
I don't want.
Somebody's have a letter to appear, it doesn't mean
Done.
to appear. So some people are given letters to appear, he wasn't given. Yeah, that's not his fault.
No, I get it.
All right. I think anything that comes before us.
Alder Peterson, so far you can do.
Oh, yeah, no.
I believe the city clerk is correct. There's no specific requirement that the person be here unless it's their appearance is being requested.
Thank you. Alder Peterson, you have a question?
I guess that was my question. I think he cleared it up pretty well. I was just looking at some of the other ones where they have letters to appear. This gentleman did not have a letter to appear, so I kind of have a hard time holding them to appearing.
Okay, thank you. Alder Berlin?
Yeah, thank you. I just want to know, when is the gas, service station license expired?
30th.
Oh,
They all expire, liquor and everything else.
good.
Did they surrender the gas station license? Yeah. So all the licenses were
Everything.
surrendered by the,
And the gas station one, including.
All right, thank you. Other questions, comments, discussion? Alder
Comment.
Jarrett?
I would definitely, vote aye to approve the gas station license. Again, that's the only gas station we have in Georgetown right now since the BP closed down. Right now, they are not selling gas, they're selling, again, chips and stuff in their, marketplace. And I understand that, Alder Code does have some, reservations about that, and that's something that we can discuss, but as far as having the business just shut down altogether while we discuss that. I don't think that's fair to them.
Thank you very much. Further discussion? Question from Alder Cabralian?
Thank you. Just some clarity, so they should not be selling any liquor at this time?
Correct.
And is that something, Alder, can you verify? Have you been in that establishment?
I have, as well as, husband delivers there for sodas, and they have not been, as we have seen. Again, the gas station is, all of the, pumps are covered pretty much. But they have like a marketplace that people also go and get food, so I'm thinking they just like snacks and stuff from
Very
that
good.
area.
Okay. Thank you for that.
All right, further, Alder Coe?
And the meat market is separate from that place, am I correct?
The meat market is in the gas station,
It's in the
but
gas
yeah,
station, but it's
yeah.
owned by a different entity?
Yes, but you could still
Right.
access it through there, yeah.
Right, that's what I thought.
All right, any further discussion? Motion in front of us is to approve a gas station license only in Georgetown here. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
No? Motion carries. All right. Next item, 84322, communication for a change of agent, at Mihalito, thank you. Complete butchering on my part. At 1318 Douglas, Alejandro Sanchez Flores, agent. Please come up. Thank you. Given this is regarding alcohol, I'm going to ask that you swear that everything you tell us will be true. Thank you very much for that. All right, my first question is... Our first question is to staff. Is that everything in order on this license? Background checks, et cetera, et cetera? All right, thank you. Please tell us what your intentions are for the business as change of agent with you now running it. Is any change to how the business runs at this point?
It's gonna still run the same, pretty much.
Okay.
Everything's the same.
All right, thank you for that. Do we have any questions for the agent here?
I don't know what the experience of the agent is.
Well, my parents are the owners of the restaurant, so I
Offset.
basically, and I'm the accountant.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
Good. Anybody else?
I'll make a statement.
Oh, a question? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And you understand the responsibilities of being the agent?
Yes.
Okay, it's a lot of responsibility on your shoulders.
Yeah, I was a server there, so I took the classes too, so
Perfect.
now I'm pretty much always
All right.
Thank you.
All right, I think a motion is ordered at this point. Vice Chair?
Yes. I will, make a motion for the change of agent at Mi Jafalitos LLC located at 1318 Douglas Avenue.
Second.
Motion to approve and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much. This goes through City Council as well then, which is a week from Tuesday, tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Item 812-22, communication, submitting an application for a change of agent at Bar at 2210, located at 2210 Rapids. Robert Gleason.
Everybody? Good.
Slogging through, thank you. First question for staff, everything in order for Mr. Gleason? I'm gonna have to do the same thing since it involves liquor. You swear that everything you're about to tell us is the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, please tell us about any changes in operations or anything else resulting from you taking over here.
No, nothing's gonna change. Doug's just occupied with everything he's got on Main Street and Prohibition, so me and him talked about it, and I just said I'd take over. Liquor license already in my name to begin with.
Okay. All right,
Hopefully, everybody's been over there and seen the operation.
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
Thank you. Trying to do something good.
any questions for the applicant?
I have the same question. and you understand the responsibility of what it means to be a agent?
Yes.
Thank you.
Right, the motion is in order then.
Alrighty, I will make a motion for, the change of agent for, the bar at 2210 DBA Farmers Market located at 2210 Rapids Drive.
Second?
We have a motion for approval and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Does this go before another committee, or
Goes before city council.
when's that?
That is next Tuesday.
Tuesday.
And I don't need to be there?
No,
No,
Okay, thank you.
unless you want to.
I'll be out of town, that's all
Okay.
I'm asking.
no, you don't need to be there.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Item 811-22, an application for a Class A fermented malt beverage beverage license for Lakeview Pharmacy at 516 Monument Square. Mr. Matthew Heppenin.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Same order of business here. Is everything in order for the application? You swear that everything you tell us is going to be the truth?
Sir.
All right. This is a new application then, correct? So we're gonna start off with asking you to tell us about your business. I mean, we know about the business in general, but specifically how this license will be operated at your business then.
The pharmacy can only be open when a pharmacist is on staff, so we are going to have, cross-training with the pharmacist to be responsible, as the agent as well. So I'm the primary agent, we will have the checkout person at the front counter be a secondary agent, and then the pharmacist will all receive training as well. So we will have coverage as far as that's concerned. Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturday, 9 to 3, closed on Sundays at the moment, depending on success of the hotel that's going to be near us. Hours of operation subject to change.
Okay. The application reflects the hours you just said at this point? Okay, and you'll have to change that if you decide to change your hours then, in the future then, all right? Questions, Alder Coe, comments?
Talked to them over there, and I have no problem with this. I think it's a good fit, and why they want to do it with the hotel there, I think it's a pretty good idea.
I think that's pretty sensible. All right, Alder Caprellian.
Yeah, so your main, idea behind this is for the upcoming hotel, or is there anything more? Okay, that's, I did have some concerns, so I will put them out there, and, I can definitely see from a business sense why you would want to offer that with, the hotel coming about. There's a lot of liquor establishments, as you know, downtown. It does draw in quite the crowd during lots of events and things like that, so it makes a lot of sense. I look at a pharmacy and I look at health. One of your lines in your application was just keeping, health in the forefront, with my own words, not verbatim, but, I happen to notice when I'm downtown, and I happen to work with those experiencing homelessness for many years, since 2006, and having another place that offers an establishment that can offer buying alcohol during like day hours and not quite a liquor establishment, it just concerns me. I will just say that. It concerns me that we're feeding a certain culture, and that's my concern. I didn't know how else to put it, but when I first saw this application as being a pharmacy that's opening their doors to offering liquor, I don't know if you have any comments to that.
The parallel that we're going to be marketing the alcohol with is our plan to develop a section that's devoted to products that are made in Wisconsin. Here nor there, but the point being that focusing on primarily made Wisconsin beverages and pricing them at a level that is going to be a little inflated, we'll call it, So to be a regular resource for some of the community members that you mentioned, I can see it as a concern. Can't speak to how lush their finances are, and whether or not this is a viable opportunity for them to be, consistently, using our establishment for, for alcohol purposes. The 9 o'clock in the morning thing, I understand that, and I do appreciate it. I don't, it's, in the scheme of things, the vision that we currently have, because it's going to be a limited selection, it's going to be, again, priced at a higher margin. I think that the, again, the target market of the hotel guests trending us in that direction, and so I see the concern. Don't know how large the problem it could become.
Please follow on.
Thank you. So I'm not ignorant to the idea of knowing that liquor is offered in many locations. So it's, to me, I guess, in my mind, I don't know if we're entering this avenue here. I love that pharmacy. I truly do. I think it caters to our community. I think there's a sense that it's part of our community, and not when you look at some of the other pharmacies that are offered. This one, I think, really speaks to Racine, and I feel that. My concern is not so much that we're opening our doors to another liquor establishment downtown, if maybe that's what I was alluding to. It's just...
If I may clarify, this is a beer establishment.
Yeah, I keep using the wrong word.
Thank you.
Beer, okay, beer. I apologize. I was just using that word loosely, but I'll be more specific. But offering beer, is that a pharmacy? I'm looking here, I tried to find it on your application real quick, where we are a pharmacy first, and it, I can't read one of your words right here, but continue to live a healthy life. So you're encouraging that. So, when I think of some of the past practices that certain pharmacies have taken to remove, whether tobacco products or to remove alcohol, to see now that, this community pharmacy is now offering alcohol. To me, it's a certain narrative. It's something, it's telling a certain story. And to me, there's some inconsistencies on pharmacy first and a certain model that you have with a healthy lifestyle. So at times we look for advice of our public health department when we are looking for health issues. We are calling our doctor and not our mechanic for certain information. So to me, there's a little bit of contradiction. And so that's my concern. I feel like I needed to air it and to say it. I do understand from a business perspective with that hotel coming up, and there is a lot going on, and to want to focus, again, a community pharmacy and wanted to focus on Wisconsin breweries makes a lot of sense as well, but I just wanted to put that out there. I'm going to ponder a little bit longer.
Thank you. Alderco?
Just got a question. You don't plan on selling single cans, am I correct?
At this time, we have not gotten that far, because, again, the target market being people in their hotel room, whether somebody spending the night is interested in buying a complete six-pack.
I understand.
So that is, we haven't gotten through,
Okay.
the semantics of it, pending what happens with the license approval, so.
Okay.
Other questions? Motion is in order. Would you like to defer on making the motion?
I will defer on making the motion.
Alderco, would you like to make a motion?
Approve?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a proper second to approve. Further discussion on the item? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed.
Chair votes aye. Thank you very much. It's past our committee at this point. As you've heard several times already, City Council next Tuesday.
Appreciate it, have a good evening.
All right, thank you very much.
Your hat over there.
Thank you. Good night.
Good luck.
Right. 846-22, communication for change of ownership and a Class A retail fermented malt beverage intoxicating liquor license for Piggly Wiggly on Erie Street. David Losinecki. Losinecki, thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening. First of all, staff, everything in order on the application? All right, do you swear everything you tell us is going to be the truth?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Please tell us about the change of ownership, any impact on, operations relative to your license, that kind of thing.
Should be zero impact, should be zero changes. I've been with the current owner for the past 12 years, since he took over.
Okay.
So I started the business. I've been doing retail grocery for 35 years, been running stores for 25 of them as store manager. It's time for him to move on, and he's gonna stay with us in the transition. I have a young family, I'm relatively young, and I figured it's time to.
Right, remember you're under oath.
Relative. Everything is relative.
All right, thank you for that summary. Questions, discussion for the applicant here? All right, motion is in order.
I will, make a motion to approve the change of ownership of Class A retail fermented malt beverage and intoxicating liquor license for DL Foods. This is Piggly Wiggly, located at 3900 Erie Street.
Motion to approve and a proper second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. You know, this will be at City Council next Tuesday.
Hope so. Coming up quick.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you very much.
I don't need to appear at that
No,
dinner.
no, unless you if you want to.
I have enough to do at the store.
Thank you.
Thank you. 823-22, communication for an application for change of ownership and a Class B retail fermented malt beverage intoxicating liquor license for Island Jam at 3408 Douglas Avenue. Jeffrey Lewis. All right, you've seen the routine. Everything in order on the application?
Yeah.
All right, you swear everything you're about to tell us will be the truth? Thank you very much. All right, so this is a change of ownership. Tell us about what's going on there and how that impacts the license at this establishment, et cetera.
Island Jam is a Jamaican food. Currently open right now, but can't sell no alcohol, and got some spicy food so that people don't go need a drink sometime, That's all it is. No bar, just sell food and drink, yeah.
Okay. For change of ownership and the Class A. So there was no license here before then? It says change of ownership.
So this is a new business taking over.
Okay. And there was a license there previously?
Yeah.
I didn't understand that from the comments here then. Okay, sounds good, thank you. All right, questions for the
What
applicant?
kind of experience do you have in running this type of business?
So, I recently got a store in South Milwaukee before this. I was there from 2016 in South Milwaukee, so I moved to Tracy.
A little different from a store though, so you understand.
No, same thing, exact same thing.
Oh,
Food
but you
and
said it
alcohol.
was a store
No.
over there.
Restaurant, same thing, restaurant and bar, yeah.
Okay,
Same thing.
okay, thank you.
Yes, Alder Jarrett, please.
Okay, so Massap, yes, we've eaten a lot at the one in South Milwaukee, so I'm glad that you guys are in Racine and actually bringing some authentic Jamaican food, here in Racine. So it's good to see you,
Thank you.
down here. At least you don't have to make that drive. So what it was before, they had like a restaurant and they had like a little area, they would sell like liquor and like sodas and stuff like that. They're the one in South Milwaukee anyway. So I'm guessing this, I haven't been, my husband has been to the new one many times, but I'm guessing it's the same layout.
Same layout, same thing.
All right. Alder Capro, actually, City Attorney's Office first?
Please.
I just wanted to point out to the committee that, the Good Neighbors report is not attached, and it looks like that was my fault, I accidentally sent the application to the city clerk's office, and even though it's labeled Good Neighbor Report, you just have the application in there twice, so I apologize for that. But I did want to highlight that we did have a Good Neighbors meeting with Mr. Lewis, sorry. So the only thing that was really an issue that was discussed is that Mr. Lewis and his wife, they do reside, I believe, in Brown Deer.
Sorry.
Yes, they do reside in Brown Deer, so their plan is to commute to Racine every day to operate the premises. At this time, they don't have anyone else hired, so it would just be them. So a little bit of the concern is if he's not there, if he is running the premises, there's no one else listed on there. So we did discuss that briefly, as well as, we included the amendment of the, to clarify that it is 2 floors. Other than that, no other issues.
All right, thank you. Would you care to comment on, being on site for the hours you talked about?
That's another thing.
Okay, and if you're unable to be there?
Why would be there?
Okay. Alder Berlin?
Thank you. Just, I want to say this out loud, just so if there's, I'm taking, kind of following lead from Alder Peterson down there. He often does this, but I want to just clarify your hours of operation. I do see it on the application, but can you verify with us what are going to be your hours of operation?
From 11 to 10, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Okay, on your application, it differs. On your application, it's 11 to 10 on Monday and Tuesday, and Thursday and Sunday.
On Thursday and Sunday?
Not on Wednesday, you're closed, but then,
Closed on Wednesdays, yeah.
and Friday and Saturday, what will your hours be?
It's supposed to be 12, but we don't reach there yet. Scheduled for 12, but.
Okay, 11, we have you at 11 and midnight.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's good to put in there what the possibilities may be, so, not opposed to hearing that. So if you do, because that's a long day for you and your wife, for sure.
We got families that help with us, yeah, so.
Yeah. So if, what I was going to say, if you were not gonna be on the premise, and it so happens that you do hire somebody in the future who's going to be the responsible party on the premise, you do need to come back before the city and get that added. I just want you to know that and to understand that, okay? Because right now, we have you as a responsible party. So if something were to come, go awry, on you. Okay.
All right.
Amendment,
I'm sorry?
amendment, the form you sent me, that's it.
Oh, you have a sign? That would be great if we could take that.
Alder Peterson?
The agent doesn't have to be on scene, they just have to have a licensed bartender on scene, correct?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
The agent doesn't have to be on scene, they just have to have a licensed bartender on scene, correct?
Well, the agent is the person primarily in charge of the premises. So it's whatever person is acceptable to the committee, to reassure you that that person is in charge, that they can fix any violations that occur. So they don't necessarily have to be on premises, but there is a requirement that the agent is also licensed.
Overall responsible, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm saying if they wanted to take a day off and they had a licensed bartender, the licensed bartender could fill that role.
Correct. There just has to be an operator on premises.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for the clarification. Pardon?
No, I was thanking
Okay.
him for the clarity.
Okay. All right, any further discussion? Motion is in order.
I will make the motion to approve the change of ownership and a Class B retail fermented malt beverage and intoxicating liquor license for Island Jam. This is located at 3408 Douglas Avenue.
Second.
Okay, a motion and proper second to approve. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much. This will go, as again, City Council on Tuesday, and after that, you'll hear from the clerk's office.
Thank you, good luck.
Item 554-22, communication, submitting application for a reserve Class B retail fermented malt and beverage intoxicating liquor license for the Green Room, at 3717 Douglas. Woody Magaka.
Douglas?
Yeah. No? Is anybody here for this particular item?
I can speak to that item. So there was a background check that was done on the applicants. The background check from the police department came up as having a record for one of the individuals listed on the application. That individual was informed by the city clerk's office on Wednesday of last week that he needed to appear. He indicated that he did not have a criminal record. Upon review, Sergeant Guppy did check the records check from the police department. It looks like the record check did come back erroneously for a different individual by the name of Jeffrey Smith. So it's a person by the same name, same date of birth, different middle initial. And so the city clerk's office did attempt to inform him today that he did not have to appear, but that the agent would still have to appear to discuss license application. Unfortunately, she was unable to get a hold of him, so I would ask that, given all of this, you would defer this application at this time, give the agent an opportunity to appear before you.
Motion is in order then.
I make a motion to defer, agenda item 0554-22.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. 806-22, requesting, communication requesting an update from the Good Neighbors meeting following the formal expression of concern for Doobie's Beer Joint at 3701 Durand.
So the committee will recall, Doobie's was called in before the committee due to an incident that involved an underage person drinking on the premises, and then subsequently after getting into a car accident. The committee did refer that item and that person to attend the Good Neighbors meeting. We did meet with the owner of Doobie's along with the police department, and we did discuss that incident along with other nuisance issues that were occurring at the time. Sergeant Zucky did appear at that meeting and discuss most of that with the applicant. So if you have any specific questions other than what's in the report, I'd be happy to answer them, or I can answer them as well. But that's just to give you an update as to what we discussed at the meeting.
Sergeant, were they, receptive at Doobie's of, what you were suggesting for them?
I would say yes, and I would say that since then, there's been, I guess, noticeable change in call for service, to that establishment. A lot of the calls for service have been self-initiated by the police department.
I saw that term on the report, self-initiated by the police department. Would you clarify exactly what that means?
Sure, so it's the officer taking the initiative, putting himself out of that location as a preventative or precautionary effort, to provide it extra attention, to make police presence known, to, I guess,
Thank you.
prevent any problems.
So that's a change on our part, not necessarily a change on the bar owner's part, correct? The city's part, that we're keeping a closer eye on them rather than they have been necessarily making more phone calls into us or anything along those lines.
We're aware of the concerns, you know, the issues that have taken place there, so I would say that the police department is taking the initiative to provide the area extra attention as a deterrent.
Which is appreciated.
And they've done that on other bars.
I'll let
Did
go.
you guys hear anything about the incident that happened a couple weeks after that meeting was in here? There was a big fight in there. I got videos sent to me. Bar stools were being thrown. Somebody pulled a gun in there. Do we know if the police were even called for that incident?
That incident was actually on the 2nd of October.
That'll be covered in our report later
So
on
that
then?
was in the report that, Sergeant Ortiz actually did for the past week.
Oh,
Okay.
So that information is all in there.
okay, and
Same
what became of that, do we know?
An arrest was made.
Okay.
There was
Okay.
actually, there was off-duty that was at that location at the time. So it was a very quick response and an arrest was made.
It was a hell of a brawl.
Okay. Any other discussion? Dr. Berlin?
I have a statement and a question. I'll start with a question. Can you refresh us now that we move forward with Doobie's Beer Joint, that what are the repercussions? What are we looking for further action to be taken? I remember that not to have an incident within a 6-month period or 3, within a year period or something like that. Could you clarify those, so refresh our memory?
Sure, if you just give me a moment to pull up the last date. I'll answer that for you.
Within a year,
Within a year, I think.
3 in a year, 2 in 6 months.
We'll get clarified for sure.
So the last time they were called in before this committee was September 12th, 2022. The committee met with Doobie's here on October 17th of 2022. Prior to that, they had not been called in since 2019, which means this would have been the first call-in. The ordinance states that if the person is called in once, it's a warning. If they're called in twice in a 6-month period or 3 times in a 1-year period, they will automatically be sent to due process. So it would be from the date that they were called in, which would be September. So you have October, November, December, January, February, March. So if anything happens between now and March 12th, 2023, that would be within the 6-month time period.
Clarify your wording there. Called in as opposed to a formal expression of concern. Those are two different things. So-
Called in pursuant to a formal expression of concern.
Okay, thank you.
So
So
whenever
we could bring them in for a conversation, but if there's no expression of concern, it would not trigger any of the concerns.
Well, the way the ordinance is written, every time the person is called in, it is pursuant to a formal expression of concern, and it's written that way so that there's no
Lack of clarity.
distinguishing when a formal expression of concern is issued versus when it's just a warning.
Okay.
It all counts.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Then I'll make my statement, if that's fair. I have a question and a
Anybody else
statement.
have anything? Okay, yes, please.
Okay.
Just want to be sure you're not hogging it.
No, I just had a question and a statement. So, I did have a concern reading the Good Neighbors report. It says that Mr. Dubiak states that every bar has an underage problem and does not believe his bartenders are doing anything wrong. To me, that does not take ownership and responsibility and no accountability. That is extremely concerning. I am thrown off by that. I wanted to just put that out there. So this committee hears me. And also, I did watch that video from the incident. It was sent to me relatively right after the incident occurred. And it was scary. It was a very ugly video. I don't know if any of you got the opportunity to watch that, but to me, we are public safety and licensing. There was not public safety happening. At least, you know, it was very chaotic and a very fearful event. So that was my comment I wanted to make.
Address that one more time. This was at our last meeting. Could you give us the update on that particular event? Point, Sergeant? That an arrest had been made, or?
Yes, there was an arrest made. So, like I said, the incident occurred inside, someone from inside came outside, there was an off-duty sergeant that was working there, so he was doing extra I'm sorry, I should not be misquoted. He was doing extra attention there, so he was in the area at the time, it was flagged down, so the police response after the incident was out was relatively quick because we had somebody in the area. So an arrest was made, yes, and video was provided to us as well in our investigation. Taken arrest and a gun was recovered.
Was there a call from the establishment?
I don't believe so. The information in this report, says that the caller reported seeing a patron in the bar in possession of a gun. Description was given out. Police arrived and located the individual. I don't know who made the specific call, but I know that someone from inside, it was a patron, came out and laid down the officer that was providing extra attention.
All right, thank you. Other questions?
Yes, that's why I have a concern when we tell the establishments that they won't get in trouble for calling the police, but then they don't call the police. I got a real issue with that type of thing. Statement.
We have two options on this item at this point. We would follow with an expression of concern. That would be a reasonable usage of this agenda item, a reasonable expectation. I do not want this to be received and filed, however. I would like the right terminology to be used to ensure that this gets reported to the full city council. So whether we can say it was acknowledged, something along those lines, I'll look to City Attorney New, but I want to be sure it's not received and filed.
Move to approve the item, approve the report.
And that is just receiving the report as written. That's not really an actionable.
Correct, because the ordinance does only report items that are essentially approved to the city council, the terminology that should appear on the city. But in practice, it does the same thing as receiving and file, because there's nothing to do to the report other than to approve it. Approve, receive.
Yeah, so ultimately, what our choices are to approve in this case, the purpose of that being to be sure this, the full city council hears that we have reviewed this, and that it's on our radar. If we simply receive and file, it doesn't make it to the city council. If you may remember, about a month ago, I sent out an email because we had received and filed something. So I want to ensure that doesn't happen. I want to ensure that the city council and the public is at least aware that we are monitoring the situation. If the committee chooses to go further at this point and issue an expression of concern, that's a possibility as well. It might be that we do that under the next item, because we have more recent reports as well under that, so.
Question. Nothing's changed since the last time we called them in. Why would we have this on there again?
The last time you called them in.
Yeah, and it was, but it concerned all these incidents. Am I correct?
Looks like the committee did meet on the 17th, the incident occurred on the 2nd, so.
And what did we do with that? We didn't get rid of the concern, the thing of concern, am I correct?
We maintain the expression of concern, yes.
We maintained it, so why are we doing it again? That's my question, because we already did this.
This item is specifically around, we had requested a good neighbor meeting occur, and this is a report on the good neighbor meeting. That's all it's really here for.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I would recommend actually that we approve this, but the Vice Chair makes the motion here.
Yeah. I am gonna make, the motion to approve, this, agenda item, which is the Good Neighbors Report.
Second.
Motion is second, and again, is for the purpose of ensuring that it appears on the city council agenda, and that the city council and the public is aware that we are monitoring the situation. Any further discussion on the item? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Item, that's that one, 807-22, communication on behalf of the Public Safety and License Committee requesting the appearance of Rebecca McCray, agent for Taste of Soul at 50160 pursuant to a formal expression of concern. Hi there. So, much as earlier, this involves liquor, so do you swear that everything you're about to tell us is the truth?
Yes.
And you as well, if you are going to be commenting, sir?
Yes.
All right, thank you very much, appreciate that. You've been called in regarding specific incidents on our police report, so I'm gonna leave it open to you to talk about the items of concern, items you care to bring up, and your observations on the public safety associated with your facility. So I'll start off very generally like that, please.
Okay. I think, well, we've done a pretty good job. We haven't had any issues inside our bar or anything like that. I'm assuming that this has probably come from the incident, I think it was on October 17th. There was like, some altercation outside. What that was, there was nothing that happened in the bar. No type of argument, like, nothing at all. So there was never a reason that, we had thought anything was gonna happen like outside of our bar. We had already let everybody out, about 30 to 40 minutes before the incident actually happened. We were cleaning up, didn't realize there was anything even going outside, until my husband did say he heard the gunshots. I was in the kitchen, so I didn't even hear them. And then the police came, like, literally within a few minutes. And then they got the video camera, recordings and, you know, looked at what they needed to look. They said that it, you know, they made, I don't know if they made an arrest or if they were able to find out who the person was, identify him.
And the police will tell us afterwards that...
Yeah. We do get calls about, the only thing is like the noise, and I do believe it's just our neighbor upstairs who keeps doing it, because that's what the officers are telling us as well. It's the same person who just keeps calling saying the noise is, you know, like the music's too loud. In my opinion, it's never that loud. We do always turn it down though, if it does seem loud, you know, we're willing to cooperate. But a lot of times, the police, they have to come in, you can tell that they even look annoyed because they're constantly coming there, like, for no reason.
Thank you. Sergeant, are there any other items that we'd like to ask about besides this specific one? Okay, thank you, that's fine for now, just want to be sure of that. I do have, 3 public commenters, so I'm gonna ask each of them to spend a minute or two, expressing their concerns on this item. First is, well, actually, we have 2. John Carr is on here twice.
Well, let him go first. We also have another set of people that are here too that didn't get to sign the paper.
Right.
Okay.
The issue is, this person here that owns the bar. That's the issue right there. He thinks it's a joke.
Oh, wait, no, we're on a different topic. We're on a different topic.
I apologize, guys. That is
All for papers, so.
my bad.
No, this is a different topic.
My mistake.
I made a mistake.
No, I made a mistake.
Sorry.
I apologize. You're for the next item.
Okay, can I say one thing?
No, not until...
Gotta wait for the next one.
But listen, I just wanna say, my son don't want me to get mad, and I talk loud, so he's upset about that. So I'll try not to talk real loud.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I apologize for the confusion there. That was my mistake. All right. So, Sergeant, please give us your observations on the event in question, please.
So, the investigation to the incident that she's talking about is still ongoing, so there's not a whole lot that I can say, but what I can say is that, what she reported is accurate from what I can tell from all the police reports that I was able to review. I do believe that the individuals involved in the incident were probably inside the bar prior to the incident. What she reported as well as, what she was doing at the time is exactly what's reported in the police report, that, I mean, I believe it was you and a bartender there, and you were both cleaning up because everybody had already exited. When officers arrived, we were able to make contact with them. They let us in the bar, they let us look at video, and we did not have any issues in terms of cooperation from them in terms of this specific incident. We have identified somebody that was involved in this incident. going, so there's not a whole lot that I can speak on behalf of that, but I would like to acknowledge the fact that what she reported is true in terms of what I was able to do in the police.
Okay. Alder Coe.
I just wanted to say, I don't have a problem with this, but I've been hearing, you know, when there's fights and people yelling out there, and I've heard it from people, you guys don't call the police. That's my concern. If you know there's from what my understanding was, this fight was going outside in front of your place for at least a half hour before the gunshots. And my concern is, you know, why wouldn't you guys call the police? There was numerous, people that live upstairs in these different places that called the police, but there was, from my understanding, you guys didn't call the police.
I didn't call the police because I didn't even hear anything. I didn't know they were fighting. The vacuum was on. We were cleaning. We had no idea. We've called the police in the past, if you look at our history, with any kind of issues like that. There's normally not any fights, so you're not gonna get like a big history of us, of course. But I absolutely would have called the police. I mean, my life's in danger, my staff's life's in danger, you know, anybody who's around. But I did not know that they were outside fighting, because there was nothing that even happened inside to make me think, oh, I need to watch them, or, you know, 'cause, you know, that happens sometimes. You're like, you see people talking, or maybe they're a little aggressive, so you're like, I'm gonna watch them as, you know, they're exiting, make sure, but nothing happened. Everything was peaceful and everything was fine, so we're just thinking everybody, you know, went home or wherever they went.
Okay, because what I heard from people, that people were out there fighting for a while. And that's my concern. My only concern is you guys should not have to be afraid to call the police. I don't want you guys to go out there and attempt to break anything up. But if there is something going on, I want you guys to call the police. I mean, and then you had the incident, I know it's someone walked outside, but somebody got shot, so it's just a little bit, neighbors are a little bit worried about things down there, so you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So.
understandable. But we did actually call the police, wasn't it,
Well, my take on it, like, I've been trying to cooperate all the way around the board. Like, before I had no cameras up, I spent a lot of money on cameras to get cameras up there, so officers can come in and see whenever they want to see it. We got panic buttons in there, we got all that stuff in there to try to do the safety for us and our bartenders. And then also, like, with the lady upstairs, I don't know if it's the guy that stay upstairs that's rent protesting as well, or if it's Tina. Before, she used to call the police all the time, and she has my number. So the officer got tired of it. He's like, can you go over there and talk to her? I go over there and talk to her or whatnot. So I'm saying, like, she even had my number. I'm like, Tina, you got my number. Why you so quick to call the police? You can call me if the music's loud. I'm cooperating with you. And she didn't answer, so I said, start calling her phone before, and she just let it ring. I called it again. I'm showing the officer. And then she's like, I got your call, Damien. Versus, so like, I don't know if you're being funny or just picking, because you could say, can you turn the music down if you feel that it's that loud. So then I said, I'll turn it down, hey, whatever, if you feel that way. By 11, she said, oh, turn it down by midnight. And I don't even feel that that's loud. I mean, what's loud? What's loud? You may not be loud to me, but, I mean, we can't communicate. I mean, we have each other's numbers, and she doesn't do that. I got called early on a party on the pavement. We just got called in, Friday, they called and said we were still serving. Officers came over right, and said, oh, we don't see nothing. I said right then and there, you want to see the video? Anytime they want to come and see the video, 7 days a week, it don't bother me. So then you'll get to see it. So the camera's gonna speak if you were still serving or whatever you're doing inside and outside. So I just let the video speak for itself. So anytime they want to come in there, they can access it anytime they want to.
Very much appreciate that level of cooperation. Thank you. Questions?
No, like I said, my only concern was that, you know, if you guys do or hear something, you guys need, it was more than one person that called me that night and said people were fighting out there for at least 15, 20 minutes before the incident, so.
One last thing, like I called the other day, I'm gonna do this report, I just called the other day again. Because normally when I did call, like, sometimes some things don't happen. Like, they come out there, you know, people sitting in front, the bottles, smoking and everything else. And I feel like, I mean, officers ride past and they're not doing anything about that. And I'm not going outside. These kids is going crazy even in school. I'm not gonna put my life on the line of saying, go stand in front of my bar with your bottle or quit smoking right here. I mean, it's on video that shows that. So, I mean, I'm just trying to do what I mean the best I could do while breaking on that level.
Mr. Pearson, do you have anything, or?
Well, I'm just gonna say, I'd have a hard time issuing
Resend it.
right, yeah, I'm thinking more along the rescinding it or deferring it, at least until the investigation's complete. I mean, I can't be holding them responsible when we don't even know what truly went down yet.
And that's, it wasn't called in to punish you guys either, I wanna make sure you guys call the police.
If you wanna make the response.
So, Alder Jarrett, you have any question? No, it's
No,
fine.
yeah, most of the questions I've already discussed, so.
Okay, question I'd have for staff, would you, from your perspective, if the committee wants, is this an appropriate time to rescind, or should we be awaiting the final results of the investigation before we, take that action?
I don't think that we're gonna be able to produce any additional information, in addition to this.
Okay.
The basis of what we're looking for.
Thank you. All right, Alder Caprellian?
Yeah, I will make a comment, then I'll be ready to make a motion. Okay? I really thank you for your level of, cooperation. And I think that I just want to commend that you have reached out to the neighbors, and phone numbers have been shared to allow a direct line of communication. I think it really helps humanize some of this, maybe difference of being a home and then being a business, and it allows you to connect at a personal level. I'm sorry it hasn't really been, maybe cooperative, but I encourage you to please continue. There's another human attached to this story as well, and, but I think as a business, it sounds like you're doing the right things, at least from my perspective, as hearing from the public safety and licensing level, and the hat I'm wearing right now. Thank you for that, and please continue with those practices, and I'm glad we've had the opportunity to have this conversation, and I'm sorry if it may come off kind of as like a hard hand, but it's really not. Our arms are wide open, and we just all want to work together. You're doing an important part of Racine, and we're doing a very important part of Racine as well, so thank you for that. And so that's just my comment, but I'd be happy to make a motion to rescind.
Second.
All right, so the motion in front of us is to rescind
the formal expression.
Rescind the previously delivered expression of concern. Yes, Alder Jarrett, please. No, please.
Sergeant Zuski, is it, possible for the owner to, call for like extra attention? I know you said that sometimes there might be people out there hanging out, drinking and smoking, that will not, like, they're being proactive with, and transparent with their cameras and stuff. Can they call for extra attention if they see that happening, so they don't actually have to go confront these people in front of their bars?
Absolutely, we would encourage that, and it does sound, obviously, I'm new to this, but it does sound like, since a lot of this stuff has been brought up, it sounds like we definitely have a better working relationship with you guys. I would encourage all of your staff, to feel comfortable to call us if there is any situation, big or small.
Okay.
I'd rather come there and deal with something small and have it dealt with and addressed before it turns into something big, because you're right. We really have no idea what people are up to. They're loitering, they're waiting for somebody inside, who knows?
Right.
So if they're a problem for you guys outside, they're more than likely gonna be a problem for somebody else. So we would highly, highly encourage that. All suspicious people, anything, loitering, ordinance violations, any of that stuff, call us. You've got the staff, that can come, if nothing else, to just drive through. There's plenty of options that we have as law enforcement to assist you guys.
I would appreciate that. I can put the no loitering signs up, that I have to do as well. And I communicate good with Asiana. We have each other's numbers.
Okay.
But not, like, when they put late bottles out,
Mhm.
when I go there next morning, I'm cleaning up, just because I know it gotta be somebody practically borrow or hanging out, so she don't sell that stuff, so I still even clean up her area as well. We share, her cans and garbage cans down there with us, so. I try to do the best communication I can. I'm there more than my wife is. She's more there with the kids sometimes, so.
Right.
I just want to commend the police department. When Lieutenant Ortiz was the sergeant, they initiated a lot of bar checks. So sometimes a lot of bars would appear on here, but it was self-initiated by the police department, so I thank you guys for that.
I think the benefit that we have now is that Lieutenant Ortiz went to our late power shift, so he is working during the bar hours of operation, so he's familiar with what you guys have been dealing with, what the committee's been dealing with. So I know that he's really taking, you know, that role serious, and encouraging his staff to, you know, take the effort to alleviate some of these issues.
Thank you. Right, anyone else? Okay, the motion before us is to rescind the expression of concern. All in favor? Aye. Chair votes aye as well. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much for coming out.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing the right things, and please keep up
Thank
good
you
work.
guys for coming, I appreciate it.
We appreciate it. 8:58:22, the license premise report. Sergeant, anything to highlight for us?
Well, I think a lot of the things that were highlighted there, that we've already talked about. There's one thing that I did wanna point out, just in reference, I don't know if this is gonna come up later, but, we did do a lot of, self-initiated calls for service at Double Vision. Those are documented on there so that, record can, I guess, reflect our efforts, because I believe that prior to my coming into this position had been an issue, so I just wanted to make sure that that was pointed out.
Thank you. Now, there are some other items on here regarding Double Vision that are not self-initiated. Could you have any comment on those? Look at, October 23rd, it looks like it, and November 4th.
Sure, so October 23rd, it looks like there was a, fight, or officers responding for a report of a fight. A male party had been threatening to light up the block. Once police arrived, everyone had left. And then you said the 4th of November?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I stop you right there?
Go ahead.
Please.
Now, it says the call received at 2:40. I'm just curious if you can give me some idea how much time lapsed between the call received and the time the police officers arrived. That would be helpful sometimes, because it would said they're all gone. Well, did it, were you guys busy elsewhere and it took you 15 minutes to get there and somebody say, hey, they called the cops, get out of here.
Right, and unfortunately, without having the call details in front of me, I can't,
Okay.
I can't speak on that. I was only told to document what time that the call was received, so.
All right.
Can we in the future request a time of response then as well? Is that something easily done for you, or are we putting an administrative burden on you for that?
No, not really, because when I get, like, the information for the call, like the call detail, it'll tell me what time the call was received, it'll tell me what time the call was dispatched, and it'll tell me what time the officers arrived.
Yeah, if we could include that as well, that'd be
Okay.
great. As
Okay.
long as we're not making a lot of work for you there.
And I don't think you have to do it on everything. It's kind of like when you're called and the problem's gone.
Okay.
It's
Sure.
how much time lapsed between the call and.
It doesn't hurt to do it all the time if it's easy.
Yeah, if it's easy, yeah.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
Okay, and then November
Um,
4?
November 4th. It looks like we had a refused complainant reporting people screaming and arguing. A second refused complainant reported a male and female arguing outside of a different address on Lombard. Officers responded and made contact with the male and female who were not arguing and were advised police assistance.
Could you clarify the term refused complainant, please?
Sure, that's someone that calls the police and does not, identify themselves, like, by name.
Okay, thank you very much. So let's take advantage of this time and finally let these people talk who've signed up to talk to us here, then. Sorry to make you wait so long, guys.
That's all right, whenever you're ready.
We are ready for John Carr and John P. Carr.
Should they come up?
Yeah.
John P.
All right, John P.
All right, first
Come
of
on
all,
up
I want
and-
to know if this guy's on the board of, the Bar Association.
Well, that's not an appropriate time to.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you could just sit down.
Hey,
and
guys, go sit down.
discuss.
All right, I just wanna know for my,
Let's just remember, Keith.
right. I had a stroke, so I'm not as good as everybody else. All right, I am fed up, and my son calls me all the time, with this guy and his mouth.
You address that.
Oh, I'm sorry, this guy in his mouth. I'm trying to stay calm. He flips my son off, and, the cops went out to his, place again, and the one cop comes back and says, "You better be careful. He's got a motorcycle gang up there. They can hurt you." So is that, anything to be nice about or anything like that? My son walked by his bar the first time this all started, and they called him a P, and all they did is aggravate. Now, and in the whole, street, all I get is glass all over, there's glass in my driveway. Let's see, last time, the guy peed all over my garage. And if you want, hey, where's my paper? And if you wanna know the rules and regulations of the bar and why they do this, I have it here, I printed it out. Yahoo was very good. Why does the city of Racine hold bars responsible for patrons' behavior even after they leave? 200 feet, they're responsible, this gentleman here. My son just had an incident with the cops about sitting on the couch. He runs outside because he hears a big crash, and the girl and the guy ran to the back of his car. And he yelled, he's not very good at language either, but he probably yelled, "You hit my effing car." And by then, I guess he called the cops. And by the time they showed up, the gentleman in the car wanted to fight. Okay? And the dispatcher told my son Jason to stay in the house. So he turned around to walk in the house, the guy ran up the steps and pulled the door open. Maybe next time I should just tell Jason, "Hey, let him come in and we'll shoot the little son of a," you know what I mean? Then my kid gets handcuffed because the police are tired of going over to that bar all the time, over and over and over. And I have witnesses here, right here, I'll let them talk, but I am tired of it. I want the bar shut down. I want the license pulled. I mean, and I'll let my son talk about the gun shooting and all this bullshit that they were doing.
We will.
You know, I want license pulled.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, Jason, it's yours. I'm not gonna say a lot because I'll get pissed. I'll look at you all.
Hey,
Don't call me a motherfucker.
Hey, stop.
You call me a
Stop. Hey,
motherfucker, didn't
go
I?
down. Just go sit
Wrap
down.
your
Just
head.
Go sit down. Just go sit down. Remember, that's my dad.
I don't care.
You
I
will
don't care.
Okay.
You don't call me a motherfucker.
So, first of all, I have video footage on my phone.
We need you.
I have a lot of video footage on my phone.
Okay.
The police are there probably 3 nights a week, sometimes 4, every week for months at a time. I actually have the police telling me on the phone, because he does yell down from the bar when his biker buddies are out there, the outlaws and the high riders. I've been threatened by both of them. I'll be outside working, he'll be outside smoking cigarettes, pacing outside in their little area they have, and the motorcyclers will be sitting there, burning black marks up and down the road, up and down the sidewalk. None of the kids play outside anymore. I've had motorcycle guys come up and try to hit on my little 14-year-old daughter. My yard is nothing but beer bottles and busted bottles. The music is bumping and blaring all night. Sometimes the bar doesn't shut down. Sometimes there's people out there till 3 in the morning, and we call the police, and then it's right back open at 4:35 in the morning with the same riffraff outside. Mr. Dick Garbo has tried to talk to this gentleman. I'm not trying to address him disrespectfully. I'm saying this gentleman, Dick Garbo, who owns the majority of the block, except for our house, has tried to talk to him and say, "Take care of the neighborhood will take care of you." He's done nothing. We've gone to our alderman for over 2 years. I've sent him videos at 2 in the morning. I'm gonna deal with what I deal with. And he just said, oh, I did my end, it's politics. You wanna go up against the motorcycle gang? I tell him I'm not afraid, I'm just tired of it. I'm afraid for my kids, but I can handle myself, you know? I got 2 children that get no sleep every night of the week. He's made comments yelling down at my house, my wife's on the board, I'm on the board. He's actually told people to follow me and kick my ass because I have epilepsy, so I walk. I go for walks down to the lake. I don't know if you're familiar with Lombard Avenue, I walk down to the lake. He's actually told people in the high riders to follow me and kick my ass on one of my walks. When I'm doing yard work, they scream at me, they pass the bar, turn around in front of my house, and do wheelies and floor it. The police have witnessed it. I've taken videos and shown the police. Whenever there's something that happens and I'm talking to the police, he's outside with all the stuff that's going on. There's been fights where we've called the police, and he's out there helping people scatter. I've seen people holding onto the hoods of cars, flying down the road, women taking shoes off, beating cars. On my phone right here, is 10, 11 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday, and I've got a man and 3 women beating a gentleman to the ground and then being welcomed right back into the bar when the 2 guys take off that were beat up. I have it on video. I have on video, and you can hear the police say, well, he said you flipped him off. I said, I've been down here doing yard work. He's been pacing, smoking cigarettes, yelling at me, talking tough with his biker buddies. And they say, well, he admits, which you can hear on the video, from the police, he admits that the bikers swear at you and that it's got some dangerous biker guys down there, so you better be careful. It could be 10 on 1. I can't walk to Aldi's. I get called a fag, a pussy, a bitch. One guy ran up and tried to pull my hair and fight me. Horrible. My little block, now we have it used to be the Max, and then there's the Beacon around the corner. We never had riffraff, never. Few and far in between. They would reach out, like I said, take care of the neighborhood takes care of you. They play music in the outdoor speakers, we call the police, they turn the outdoor speakers off, and then just say it's us just being annoying neighbors. We try to understand, we tried, it's not working. It's nothing but violence. I have a video of a gentleman fighting with his a video on my phone of a gentleman fighting with his girlfriend, punching her car, and then getting mad, turning around and trying to urinate on my white garage door. Doesn't care that my camera lights turn on. Doesn't care that my kids are pacing the house screaming, can't sleep. I've been threatened by 2 biker gangs multiple times. I've showed the police multiple videos. I've reached out to our alderman, and he hasn't showed up for meetings and just passes the buck. I believe at one point in time I reached out to another female alderman last year. I can't remember who, but I tried. I tried to call the guy from the other bar to see if he would go help coach the gentleman or something. That bar is an absolute menace. It is absolutely horrible. From bikers trying to hit on my 14-year-old, commenting on her ass and her rear. She doesn't look 14, she looks 12. Every single day, and then right now if you drive down my road, there's at least 3 or 4 smashed bottles littered in the road on my side of the road, all over the curb. People urinating in my yard. When people are blocking our driveway, we call the bar because the number is on Facebook. We get told, fuck you. Elderly gentleman went next door and asked, hey, my wife's got a heart condition. Can you stop lighting off bombs or whatever they were lighting off for the 4th of July? He went in there and asked them all to stop, offered to buy them all beer. The high riders beat his ass, beat him up, to the point where he didn't want to, he's scared to come. It's nothing but violence. It's nothing but violence. It's nothing but loud riffraff, and it's nothing but threats. When we call the police and there's a big fight, or when I've had to call the police and there's somebody outside with a gun in a big motorcycle gang meeting, he's helping them leave. He's shooing them into the bar. He is outside with the riffraff. We've all tried to exhaust avenues, talking to Dick Garbo, who's like the speaker of the neighborhood or whatever, because he's got a little rapport with them or whatnot. Dick's even told him, I'm a tough guy. One of these times, the tough guys at the bar and me, we're going to clash. You know, and it sucks because it sucks to live there. We had a family move out. There's no kids that play in the neighborhood no more. We've actually had biker gangs say that this is their neighborhood now. This is the High Riders neighborhood. I have got so much on my phone right now Just Friday, I had a gentleman leave the bar so drunk he was falling. Couldn't even walk across the street. Goes to get in his car, crashes right in the back of mine. I go outside to confront him because I don't want him to leave, to know I seen you. And I'm talking to the guy. I seen you. You had too much to drink. You crashed into my bar. You're an asshole. I'll beat shit out of you. Stay down there. You're drunk. I'm not. Word for word. You're drunk. I'm not. Cops are on the way. The guy decides to climb up my nine sets of stairs, drunk. I go in the house, pull my door open. I punched him, laid him flat out, and he flew down the stairs. The cops immediately grabbed me, you know, because they turned the corner and seen it, and I had to be embarrassed in front of my kids and handcuffed until they seen how horrible drunk the guy was, and I showed them my video footage. And I don't know why the cops are saying, caller doesn't, no, we speak to the cops every time. And like I said, not to repeat myself, it is 3-4 times a week, every single week for months in a row. There's never a quiet period. I go out there at 5 in the morning, and there's the same people that are there from the night before outside, drinking, throwing bottles, and yelling stuff. On a Memorial Day weekend, I went to go take my kids to learn what Memorial Day was, to go to the cemetery to see my grandfather's grave, because that's where we wanted to, I wanted to teach them what Memorial Day was about, because he was in the military. And there was a car blocking my driveway. I called the bar and asked for him to move. Bartender comes out, calls me a bitch, tells me fuck you. And then when me and my kids drive by, they're all outside drinking. They're yelling in the car. Fuck you, you're a pussy, get out of the car. You know, sometimes I'm stupid. I want to get out because I'm mad.
All right, thank
But when,
you,
but,
Mr.
but,
Carr. We have
but
a
I
picture.
just want you to know that when all this is happening outside, he is there.
Okay.
And the drug dealing on my corner is absolutely horrible. Horrible. And they all go straight to the bar. So if you want to see video footage, I got tons of video footage to show you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Carr.
Thank you, sir, for hearing me. I appreciate you. Thank you all. Hey, shh.
Okay,
Just don't talk no more. Go ahead.
we have
Slide back.
Barb Sinsla and Doug Kubin.
Yeah, we're here. I'm sorry, I took
Stand up.
somebody's pen.
I'm Barb Kusinski, and I'm Doug's girlfriend, and I stay with him a lot of times. I don't live in the neighborhood, I live in a different area, but I'm there every weekend, and all I can tell you is many, many years ago, I owned a bar. And like you've said, and I applaud you for what you said, it's a community, and everybody has to work together. And the person that owns the bar should take some accountability for the people that come in the bar and how the people leave a bar. In the 3 years that I've been dating Doug and been in that neighborhood, every week we go outside and we're picking up garbage bags of broken beer bottles, alcohol bottles, cigarette bottles. I'm picking them up out of the yard so the dog doesn't eat them and throwing them over the fence. It's nonstop. The kids used to play. And I would say, this is such a nice neighborhood you live in, and I live in a totally different area. I'm out in the country. I'm not even exposed to the city, and I'd say to him, this is such a nice area. The kids are all outside and they're playing. You don't, like this gentleman said before, you don't see any kids outside anymore. The parents don't want their children outside. I mean, who wants to be out there and your kids, you see this garbage laying in the street. You hear these motorcycles at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning going up and down the street, up and down. It's just a menace. It's a menace. And I think that, and I'm not pointing fingers at you, sir, because it's your bar or whatever, but I think that somehow the bar owner should be held accountable because these are the people that he's allowing in his bar. And these are the people that are leaving his bar and causing this kind of chaos for the neighborhood. I mean, it's really sad when you're trying to raise a family, and this is the kind of stuff that you have to tolerate. That's all I have to say.
I agree, it's a quality of life issue. I mean, it was a nice quiet area until Double Vision opened up. I mean, it was the max. It was a little tiny bar. I used to go down there once in a while. And now, because of the clientele they cater to, it's really disrupted the neighborhood. One little bar can kind of like ruin a whole neighborhood. I mean, a bar like that, maybe if it was way out in the county somewhere, it probably wouldn't be a problem, but because it is more of a residential neighborhood, like going down Lombard, I live on the corner of Caledonia and Lombard. I've been there for 32 years. And never had any problem with, you know, any of the other areas. I mean, yeah, I mean, the Beacon's never been a problem. I never had any problems from there. I mean, sometimes people will park in front of your house, but there's no problem. There's no fights. There's no motorcycles at 2 a.m. doing burnouts in the corner and stuff. And it's just, it's gotten beyond. You guys seem very careful about issuing or approving liquor licenses. And, you know, you're very careful. It's not going to cause a problem. But once somebody has one, boy, it seems like it takes a presidential decree to do something about the bar that caused the problem. That's what I noticed sitting here listening. It's like, you really are concerned that in the city, that you take care of the residents, and we have a good, proper, fit for the area. Boy, that's not what we got here. I mean, I pretty much agree with everything, that's been said so far.
And didn't you have contact with Maurice?
Well, the alderman, yeah, Maurice, I talked to him last year when there was a big issue where the motorcycle gangs were out there, you know. And you're not talking just guys that own motorcycles. I have a Harley too, but these are actual hardcore the outlaws. They're out there, you know, with their little 1%er patches on their vests and stuff. And the cops weren't going down there. And I went up to the cops there. They had cordoned off the street. And I went out there and I was talking to the cop, and he goes, well, we want to escalate it. They didn't want to go down there. Jason said, well, I saw the owner out there getting the guns from them before the cops showed up, from the guys that are out there. This is the stuff that's going on. Now, if you actually have, I forget what you called it, where you can police can come in when they're not called, or you can have off-duty cops in there, that certainly isn't happening. Or you have those little, how about those little trailers you have that have cameras all in them that you put in front of a problem house or a problem area and you leave out there for a month? How come that's not going on? I'd like to know. Nothing seems to be being done. I mean, and I have nothing, I've never met the owner, I have nothing against him. I mean, I'm sure, you know, maybe he doesn't know some of the stuff that goes on. I don't know, I have never met him. It just seems this bar is not a good fit for him.
Thank you for coming and expressing your opinion. We appreciate it. So.
One more.
Oh, we have more, I'm sorry. Please, come on up. Yeah, when you're done, if you just sign in, we'd appreciate that.
Yeah, so we've been there 12 years, and we can kind of second what they're saying. We have 4 kids, and, you know, them trying to sleep, get to school. My wife's got to do her trips to school, you know, drop-offs and all that. And me, I work 10-hour days, so sometimes I'll sleep 3 hours, 4 hours, and I'm exhausted.
We're both tired. We don't sleep.
And, you know, as soon as bar close comes, we get bass, full blast, shaking the windows.
Fine.
I have a porch light, I'll flash it a couple times maybe to get their attention, but then, okay, we gotta call the cops. Beer bottles, garbage in the front yard.
Being in the yard, about that.
Condoms.
Yeah, condoms. Our kids, I'm sorry, I'm just so frustrated.
Yeah,
Our kids don't go to the front no more. I always tell them, you don't go to the front, you stay in the back. We can't really enjoy our yard anymore. I have a big, beautiful porch. We don't sit on it. And I'm not intimidated by the biker gangs. My kids are actually related to some of the high riders, so I do know some of them. But I just don't think it's fair. This is our home. This is where we live. We have kids, we have work. By the time he falls asleep, he has to be at work by 6:30. When he leaves, that bar's already full again. And sometimes they're fighting in the morning too. Now, I don't know this gentleman. I'm just seeing him for the first time. I feel like if their bar was close to mine, they would be communicating with me, and I don't feel we would be where we are today. I feel like that, you know, I could work with somebody like that, but like I said, this is the first time I've even seen this man. And this is our life, and this is our home. And I am to the point where I don't want to be there anymore. I've been looking for places to move. It's not fair. My kids, our youngest, when he hears the fighting, he'll run to his room because he already knows we tell him run. Because we don't know. We don't know who's gonna pull out a gun or what's gonna happen, you know, is something gonna go through our walls, our window, we don't know. So they already know if you hear something, go to your room, get away from the front. It's just not fair, and we are tired, very tired.
Thank you very much for expressing your concerns.
Can we get you just to take?
Yep, yep, they were gonna sign it first. You? Oh, we have, oh, I'm sorry, good point. Is there anybody else to speak on this item? I think we've covered. Has everybody in the room now? So we have a police report that seems inconsistent with what we're hearing here, I guess, with our first observation. Maybe we could hear from the police on any observations they may have, or if they need more time to consider the response.
I would ask for more time, please.
Okay. All right. Alder Capellian?
First, just got a question. Go ahead.
Okay, Alder Capellian?
Yeah, thank you. It so happened that, Lieutenant Ortiz, we had discussed some of the items, in some of these establishments, in prior meetings. This establishment, as we see multiple times, but I'm gonna ask for clarity. I'm gonna make a statement and ask for, clarity on some things here, but, as with double vision that we're seeing on this, as I wanna just speak to this report so we don't, get kind of sidetracked, and, just recognizing that we're really not allowed to comment in regards back and forth with, what we've heard from public comment, but, it was Lieutenant Ortiz's observation that, there wasn't so much as a cause of a level of concern. So, with that being said, and also with, what has come before us, this evening with, I think we have to do a bit of our due diligence, as, Sergeant just talked about, wanting to do some due diligence on double vision. I think we owe ourselves, an opportunity to have a conversation with the owner, and, I'm gonna ask a question, the clarity that I need. When you talk about, on here, when you're bringing up now officer self-initiated, I know it was brought up before for clarity, but is it there is nothing founded, I'm not seeing anything, they self-initiated because, it's not saying what they, had observed.
So I can only speak on what's available to me in terms of the reports that I have in front of me to review. So these ones on here, for example, Tuesday, November 1st. There was a call for service there. A name complaining called to report a problem. It looks like it was loud music. So then there was 3 times that an officer went out there after that initial report. And, I'm sorry, this looks like it was actually, I'm not sure, the times are, it looks like this initial call was received early in the morning, at 2:00 in the morning.
2 in the morning or afternoon?
That's gonna be 2 a.m., 2:08 a.m. is where the first one is, where it's the first entry for double vision on that date, and then it's gonna go in order, so then there was the call, so that's gonna be early that morning, so bar close time on November 1st. So then that night, earlier, later that night, but it's gonna be on the same date, they went out there,
Once
3
an hour.
separate times to provide extra attention, where they knew there was a problem and went out there and either drove around or sat in the parking lot or did some sort of proactive or self-initiated activity to make, like I said, either serve as deterrence or to make police presence known. If there's nothing in there besides that that's what they did, I can't speak on what they did because I don't know their exact actions that they took. But I know that they went out there, they made a call for service to say that they were out there. They weren't dispatched, if that makes it easier to understand. They went out on their own. They were not sent there as a result of someone calling the police.
So I guess my clarity, thank you for that, thank you for that information. The point I need clarity on is, when they gave extra attention to the area, if an incident was present, we would see that on our report then, from those self-initiated,
If they
correct?
documented it, or if they reported it to dispatch and dispatch transcribed it into the call.
And that's the typical, is that typical practice?
Self-initiated,
Or do they
So
just
there's
handle?
sometimes, it depends, like, this is I think it's the same officer that I'm assuming is assigned the area
Okay.
patrol car. So there was sometimes on there, I know that I looked and I saw that there was, like, he would specifically say no violations were reported. So like on the second, you'll see one that specifically says no violations were reported. So if that's documented on the form and that information's available to me, I will put it on here, because I know.
Yeah, that's helpful for us. I'm just trying to paint, see what these words are illustrating in my mind, and there was a lot of voids, so thank you for allowing me to get that clarity. I did want to bring up, another incident. I will be asking for a formal expression of concern, but I don't know if you wanted to allow for conversation
Let's
from
have
the.
conversation first, please.
Yeah.
Alder Peterson.
I had, some shooting in my backyard, Colonial Park, and the police parked a surveillance vehicle down there for a good amount of time. Whether or not it was operating, I don't know, or if it was just a vehicle supposed to be monitoring. But is it possible to put something like that over in that area?
Yeah, we can.
Hopefully with an actual working camera.
Well, we can deploy the vehicles. The technology I cannot speak on, because that's not my level of I mean, obviously, we put it out there with the intention that the technology is working.
Okay.
We do have vehicles that we can deploy, yes.
Is that something that you could initiate and then do it?
Absolutely, yes.
I think with cameras and stuff, that might, change a lot of things.
Kurt, any questions?
No, well, actually, is it something we have to request formally, from you to get it done?
No, I can take care of it on my end.
To me sitting here, I think we're hearing a story from the residents, not fully reflected in the police report, just the nature of the police report here. I would like, in addition to what's just been requested, a more detailed report, where maybe you, Ortiz, and the appropriate officers sit down, put together something for the Public Safety and Licensing Committee saying, here's what we see, here's what we recommend, kind of thing. Because I appreciate everybody coming out. I hear the people that live there, and we have the police going by, and normally we base a very serious formal expression of concern on the police confirming what is being reported by neighbors, et cetera. Then we don't really have that in this particular case. So I'd really like the police to come back and give us their observations on the place, all these officer-initiated attention, to the question of Alder Capellian, did they find anything, did they not find anything? So I'd really like to have some information back on behalf of the committee, that we can make an informed decision as to whether to formalize this and begin the processes associated with that.
So what I can say is that would have to be something that we would do moving forward, because these are already, these are entered, these are summaries. So what this report is a summary of the call. So, it would require a conversation with the officer that's punching the self-initiated form. So I'm not gonna be able to go back necessarily and provide data from already entered.
Not asking for data, I'm asking for a conversation with the officer that initiated these reports for what he observed, and turning that into a portion of a report as to situation on this block. So it'd be something like yourself, Ortiz, who is the lieutenant, shift commander, as well as the officer here, to get us more information on what has been happening and also going forward in a little more detail as well.
All right, I guess I wasn't quite understanding what exactly it was that you were asking for, because like I said, this is what's on the form.
Correct.
So,
So I'm asking for more than what's on the form. I'm asking for a conversation
okay,
and a report back from you at the next meeting.
okay. Do what I can.
We appreciate that. I'm going to go to city attorney next year, and then, yes.
And just say that the police report obviously can only report what has been reported to them. So in a lot of these situations, in nuisance properties especially, if it keeps happening over and over and over again, sometimes you just stop calling the police, right? Because you think, well, they're not coming out, it's not making a difference, it's still happening. And so you tend to stop making these calls, and when you stop doing that, the police department doesn't have a record of these things. So when these things are happening, rather than calling your alderman at 2 o'clock in the morning, make that call to the police department to make whatever the complaint is, let them investigate, let them record it, so that we have documentation and we can go back and look at that. Because when you don't make those calls, we don't have anything to look at, so.
We have videos on a phone.
I have video.
His video camera actually works, and he's got video.
Yeah, we have video of what they had, what was said.
Thank you. We appreciate that. We
But then how come you don't wanna see it or use it?
You made that clear to us, and I think it's
Yeah,
a
what's the reason why you don't wanna see it?
And then I just have a question. If you're threatened by the outlaws and the high riders, it's a big deal. These guys have swastikas on their patch, on their jackets.
Understood.
And badges. Do you know what a 1% badge is?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Understood.
But we wanna know why you don't wanna look at the video.
We are in a meeting right now, we'll
Okay.
be here afterward, we're in a meeting right now, we have to conduct.
All right.
Sorry, can I just ask one quick thing?
You may.
Can we hear from the owner? Because there's usually two sides to everything. I'd love to.
No, this is not gonna turn it,
What he says.
tonight, this is not
Oh.
a he says, he says at this point.
I just wanna hear what.
Yes, we
Okay.
we have a forum for officially doing that, we're gonna wait for that forum for officially doing that, but thank you, I do appreciate that.
So are you getting back to us then?
We have not concluded our conversation.
All right, sorry.
Okay, thank you.
I think it was Co. and then either Peterson and I.
Right down the line, other co.
I guess what I was gonna say, moving forward, can we have them give us more details on these reports? And all this back and forth stuff, I'm gonna make a suggestion, with the owner, I don't know what the neighbors, how to work a good neighbors meeting. And suggest that to see if we can get something worked out. Putting it out there, if you guys.
I appreciate that.
Another comment would be for a lot of these, and I appreciate the officers taking the initiative. You know, I would like to see more, attention paid, officers initiating extra attention closer to bar time. That seems to be where a lot of the 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 2:30, that seems to be where a lot of the problems arise. So that's something you could ask your officers to try.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
George, do you have anything at this
Yes,
point?
for, Olaco wanted to, he suggested a good neighbors meeting. Are we supposed to do a formal, complaint, what is it, I'm sorry?
A motion?
A motion, yes.
We will do that, and then we'll report it under the final item, once we've sort of summarized everything we'd like the police to do at this point then.
Couple of statements, because we are speaking on this report, but I would agree with the chair. We've collected information inconsistent, with what we've received. And so again, I'll just repeat myself, I think we need to do our due diligence. I think, by, collecting the additional information, I don't think we can make any decisions and act responsibly without collecting more information. And so I would hope, we'll have this information gathered for us to be able to review at a later date. And if it is, the committee's wish to have, the Good Neighbors meeting, that will be additional information that we can review come upon a time that we're able to have a conversation with, the owner. But I wanna go back, we are on a committee item that has other bars located, or other bars.
Can we, wrap up this one, then we can go back and revisit the other bars on on there?
Are we going to separate it and make a motion?
I think what we'll do procedurally here, guys, is we'll agree what we're going to ask for. we will reflect that in the final item on here, which is exactly why it's on here, the actions that will occur on here, then we'll vote on it at that point as part of that item. But for the sake of taking the notes right now, and while it's fresh in our minds, what we are requesting, of police at this point then is deployment of the vehicle as described by Alder Peterson, a detailed report from the police department, regarding the observations of the shift commander and the responsible officer relative to the reported calls on here. And lastly, a good neighbors meeting to occur. That'll be part of the motion for the last item then, Amber. Now, we have the issue / concern of, video evidence, or what the right wording is for that, if it's actually evidence or not. Is there a way we can ensure that the police take a look at that?
I can send a link where they can upload it directly into our, election database. I guess I would just need to find out if these are related to specific calls for service that have already been reported, or if I'm gonna have to generate like some, I guess, generic call for service number so that we can upload them, because they have to be associated with the call for service.
Okay, could you, after the meeting, get this gentleman's phone number and work with him on that? Do you have a concern about that?
No,
City
it's
attorney?
for the Good Neighbors meeting, the way it usually works is the committee calls the person in pursuant to a formal expression of concern, and as a result of that discussion with the owner, you then refer them to a Good Neighbors meeting. It might be premature at this point, to have a Good Neighbors meeting, just because it would be more of this same issue. We don't have any more information, the committee has not decided what to do.
Okay, so.
So I would ask that you keep that on the table at this time.
Okay, so let's strike that from the actions for the moment at least then. All right. Are we all on the same page for this one? And we can talk after, or and actually right now if you have questions, no?
No.
Okay, thank you, Sergeant. It's greatly appreciated. All right, now we have the rest of the police report here then.
We thank you all for listening.
We thank you for coming out, all of you. We appreciate it. Thank you for coming out. Okay,
Okay.
do we have other items of concern? Alder Peterson.
One question, for November sixth, it refers to a casing in a fire shot. Was there any investigation on that, or, you know, anytime there's a gunshot, if it can be linked to a bar, I'm a little skeptical, you know, I mean, I'm very concerned when I hear that there was a shot fired and casing later found in the area. So I don't know if that was related, if that can be connected to the bar or not, that's my concern.
Which bar was that one, Jeff? Wisconsin, thank you. Oh, yes, there it is, thank you.
So I guess,
It's kind of a vague, or it's not, well, I don't have the full report, I guess, so I don't know if there is gonna be a report or not.
there was not gonna be any follow-up on that, that was available.
Okay. Anytime, for your reference, anytime there's a gunshot, I would like a little more, you know, I guess it doesn't say,
Hey, could you folks step outside for your conversation? I'm a little concerned about that.
says the fight started in a bar. I guess I'm just wondering whether or not the people that, if there's any connection between the fight inside the bar and the people shooting.
Hey, can you guys go out? Hey, guys.
Wait, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff, we're gonna stand informal for just a moment here, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Escorting out, or?
No, that's fine. I guess I just don't know what you guys want me to do, because he's asking.
Make sure these guys get out of there all right.
Situation that I'm.
Yes,
a bit more-
please handle the situation. We were gonna just stop the meeting temporarily here. Thank you, I apologize for that.
Pregnant wife.
That got very tense a minute.
Well, I finally got to use restroom so much better now.
You got what?
Really? Never make a pregnant woman
Nothing wrong with you? Oh, God, I thought, you look like, I thought you were hurt.
Well, I thought it was gonna go a little bit faster than it did.
I just got a new nephew.
Oh, we're still, okay.
We're just, we are in a informal, break at the moment.
I said, I just got a new nephew on Thanksgiving. She went in the hospital at 1:30 on Wednesday morning.
Oh, she said.
4:30 Thanksgiving Day.
Like 1:30.
Wednesday morning, 1:30 AM, and all the way
Ooh, that's my first child.
through. He was 7 pounds, something.
Congratulations.
I said it had, and I kept telling her, I said, it's gonna be a Thanksgiving baby a couple months ago, but I said, it's gonna be a girl. And when it didn't come, I said, girls are always late. Oh, was
I would say boys are. We're more organized.
I thought they did episiotomies, they don't do those anymore. Yeah, she got really kinda tore up.
Jeez.
And I said.
It's a preference of the doctor.
Okay, I know, that's why I said it quietly. I don't.
Is it muted?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I said it awful quiet.
We're calling the meeting back to order. So, Alder Peterson, you had the floor regarding pub on Wisconsin, I believe.
Yeah, like I said, anytime there's a gunshot, that, to me, that's one of the things that rings out heaviest in my heart when thinking about calling somebody in for, issuing a concern. So anytime there's a gunshot, I guess I would like to know whether or not that can be connected to the bar or not. It doesn't look like there's any connection here.
I was not able to connect it, I can tell you that. If I would have been able to, I would have documented that on there.
All right.
There was nothing that, they may have been patrons, I don't know, but there was nothing that specifically said there was any sort of altercation in or immediately outside of that establishment.
Fantastic, thank you.
I don't know what we can do short of, I don't want a police state where they gotta have, metal detectors at the door. There's people that carry them in the bars sometimes, 'cause they've dropped them, but there's people that go
All right.
back to
Right,
their
yeah, it's
car.
illegal to go in the bar with, it's
Right.
illegal to go out and drink even if you have a concealed carry, correct?
But people do it.
Right, I know, I'm just saying, yeah.
All right, do we have any other questions specific to the report at this point?
No.
Alder Capellion?
Just clearing my throat to make a
That's-
motion. So, is that okay?
Yes, so, okay, yeah, go ahead, please.
All right, let me just go back one second, just so I'm reading this. I would like to have a formal expression of concern in regards to Doobies. We do see it on our report here. Earlier, we talked about, from their Good Neighbors report, and, due to that, I think it warrants to be able to have another conversation, with, the owners of Doobies. Also, this would be the time, due to the report, would you like me to maybe approve this, so it goes before the committee, and then ask for the additional part of this motion to be, deployment of
We'll do that in the next agenda item.
the next one?
Yes.
Okay,
So,
so we'll just make a formal expression of concern for
Can I ask-
Doobies.
there's a motion on the floor for a formal expression of concern to Doobies. Is there a second to that?
I'll second, and then what does
Okay.
Alder have?
Okay, we have a second to that motion. Discussion to the motion first. Alder Capellion?
Yeah, thank you for that. After getting the report, the Good Neighbors report, that we received, I think it raises some questions, and having them on our public safety, and licensing police department report, licensed premise report, I think it warrants, a continual conversation. And we can't do that unless they're present.
I'm gonna ask a specific question of you, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
What items in particular on the police report are inspiring?
There was October 2nd, which was from the past one that must have been overlooked, that was talked about at this evening's meeting. And then, we're talking about, police-initiated extra attention calls of service on October 20th, even though it wasn't pulled out. But it seems that those are actions being done by the police department, and, I want to see what is being done by Doobies. So I think it's in conjunction with the information that has come before us. They're also on October 29th. We are seeing, if you want me just to say it out loud for the record, I'd be happy to, mention all the dates that, police have given extra, attention to, Doobies Beer Joint.
Yes, please do read them out. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But I would
No.
like you to, because
Yeah,
I'm
no
not
worries.
seeing what you're saying, honestly.
Oh, all right, let me go, October 30th,
Mm-hmm.
and full search. It's just October 30th. Me.
October 29th.
Oh, thank you,
And 30th for special.
thank you. October 29th and October 30th.
Okay,
On October 20th.
October 20th, thank you. So the three of them, 3 dates. October 20th, 29th, and October 30th.
okay, Alder Coe?
Okay, well, first off, the offers initiated that, they didn't put, they've done this all for the last year now, where they go to places that seem a little busier than others, and they do officer-initiated calls, so I don't think that can be held against them. My thing is here, if we're doing another formal expression of concern, this is the second one, because we didn't get rid of the last one, this automatically makes the due process come up. Am I not correct in that statement?
That is correct. So if you issue another formal expression of concern, they would automatically go to due process, assuming the committee does not rescind this formal expression of concern. However, when it goes to due process, it goes in front of a committee, a board. There is a hearing, and that board hears evidence to determine whether or not to revoke or suspend a license.
I mean, I don't like some of their answers they gave at your guys' meeting, the Good Neighbors meeting, but when the officers initiate the calls for these places, I don't think they can be held against, the establishment.
Comments from anyone else?
Actually, I do, because I'm sorry, I didn't get a chance to look at that video, and I don't see it on the report, so I don't know what actually happened, in there. So, yeah.
I think it was emailed to you.
Yes, I just didn't have a chance to look at it, yet.
So if I could clarify, October 2nd was taken under consideration,
At
our last expression of concern.
Well, the incident was on the last licensed premise report, which means the committee could have discussed it at the time. But let me clarify, when you do issue a formal expression of concern, it doesn't have to be tied to a specific date or a specific incident. It could be a series of incidents, it could be a bunch of things leading up to the last straw, so you don't have to specify one incident. If you're calling a bar in pursuant to a formal expression of concern, it's indicating to them that there is a problem that's ongoing and that you do want to discuss it.
So I'd like to get clarity on one thing. Did we know about this October 2nd event when we last issued the expression of concern?
It's my understanding that it was in Sergeant Ortiz's last report, which would have been at the last,
Which would have been
as part of the
subsequent,
last meeting.
subsequent to the expression of concern then?
Subsequent to the expression of concern, that was, I'm
Prior.
sorry. The formal expression of concern occurred on October 17th. The incident occurred on October 2nd. So when the committee called or voted on the expression of concern, it was due to the September 2nd incident. So yes, you were aware of it at the time you called them in, or you voted to call them in.
Okay, thank you.
I think that's September. I think you're wrong on the date.
I'm sorry, you are correct. So, so the committee voted initially to call doobies in on September 12th, 2022. At that time, you were aware of an incident of the underage
Yes.
person. The person then appeared before the committee on October 17th, which is when they were required to attend the Good Neighbors meeting. In between the call-in and the time they appeared in front of the committee is when that October 2nd incident occurred.
Okay, so we did have the information when we were talking to them, but not when we issued not originally when we issued the expression of concern, but the information was available to us then. Okay, thank you. Other comments or discussion regarding formal expression of concern? I'm checking with others here, and Alder Cabrillion. Please.
I didn't know if others.
Yeah.
So I recall when they came in here, I think the dates are a little off. The first part is cleared. After we had left, so the Good Neighbors meeting happened later. But we had met prior to that. And so it was a week after we had talked to the bar owner. The incident occurred a week later. So even though this did come before us on our last agenda item, we were in conversation we were in conversation with, Lieutenant about something else. And I sat quiet about it, knowing that, the Good Neighbors meeting, I thought it was gonna be pulled out at. And now that I'm seeing the Good Neighbors report, that's why I brought back up, and I had talked to the attorney about, the October 2nd incident. Are we gonna discuss the October 2nd? I thought it was gonna come out in the Good Neighbors meeting. We didn't have an opportunity, to discuss that, and I thought it would come out there. It did not. I have concerns that, we had spoken to the owner, and another incident occurred shortly after we spoke to that owner. And, the next action that took place was the Good Neighbors meeting. So there was our meeting, and then the incident, and then the Good Neighbors meeting, and it wasn't brought up, at that meeting at that time. So, yes.
You are correct, Alder Capritti.
Yeah.
I apologize. It looks like I recorded the date that they attended the Good Neighbors meeting.
Yeah.
So the Good Neighbors meeting that they attended was on October 17th. I don't have the date of the, PSNL meeting, so let me look that up. Would have been about 2 weeks before that, so it would have been, I think, the 10th, October 10th meeting.
For 26th?
Yes, it looks like
that's
you called them in on September 12th. They appeared before you on September 26th, and then they didn't get to the Good Neighbors meeting until October 17th. I apologize.
Okay, thank you.
And so with that being said, that's why I would like the opportunity, we can always rescind that formal expression concern, but for us not to have a conversation with the establishment, I don't think we'd be, doing the community service on some public safety concerns.
Could I ask that whoever has it available, read back the, October 2nd event,
Sure.
as described by police?
The call for service was man with a gun. A caller reported seeing a patron at the bar in possession of a gun. A description was given and an updated information was provided that the male was standing in front of the bar now. Police arrived and located the male. They were able to detain him without incident. It was later discovered that a fight occurred inside the bar between the detained male and several other patrons. As the patrons were fighting him, he got up, pulled out a gun, and pointed it at the males. It was also learned the caller was inside the bar and ran out locating Sergeant Jones, who had been doing extra attention in the area. And then called to have officers dispatched. Video footage did capture the incident. A gun was recovered and arrests were made.
So it was a patron, wasn't the bar owner or a bartender that made that call, is that correct?
I can't tell you how many calls were made for that specific incident, but the one that was documented in the comments that were available to me was that, yes, a patron ran out.
Thank you, ma'am.
So there may or may not have been a call from the bar?
There could have been, I mean,
Okay. All right, further discussion? Question before us is to whether to issue a second expression of concern to Doobies based on last two police reports, in essence, then. Further discussion? Do a roll call vote. Alder Caprellian?
Aye.
Jarrett?
Aye.
Peterson?
No.
Coe?
No.
Yep. I might as well just vote one way or another in this one. Vote no. Any other concerns on the police report?
I have a quick question on top 10. Sorry, on Wednesday, November 9th. Washington Avenue robbery, male responded to the RPD counter to report he was robbed at gunpoint and believes that someone slipped something in his drink while he was at the bar. I said no additional information provided, but did that just like they took the report and nothing was done,
So
or?
from what I can tell so again, I'm limited to what is
Yeah.
available to me in terms of the comments on the form.
Mhm.
So what I can interpret from this is that this individual waited several days to report the incident.
Okay.
So he, according to the information available to me, and I did put it in here, he reported being robbed at gunpoint on the sixth, and then it was reported on the ninth.
Go.
Since we're at the topic of, top 10, the one from November 9th, it doesn't, give a time.
That's probably my error, I apologize.
Do we have any, the reason I'm asking this, because I see them up here at another place, they're supposed to be closing at 12:30. And my concern, are they still staying open?
That was October 30th. October 30th.
Yeah, when did we have them in, when did we inform them of this?
Our last meeting, it came to our attention, and we were sent a copy that they were legally only able to operate till 12:30.
Right.
So,
And the reason I say that, this one's on November 9th.
right, but yeah, that report was 3 days later than, the individual doesn't say when they were at the bar.
Yeah, well, but.
So what I can tell you is that the officer, because I remember looking at the call, it was an early power shift officer that took it, so this would have been sometime during the day.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's all I'm concerned
No,
about.
and I apologize because I do see that I left out the call receive time, but I remember very specifically reading the call for service and knowing the officer that took it, and I know it was reported during day shift
Okay.
hours. It wasn't reported like at a bar time or closing time.
Okay. Usually the times are on them all the time, that's why.
Yes, I apologize, I accidentally left that one.
But that,
That's okay.
Okay, City Attorney?
To answer your question, Aldred Cole, the letter went out to top 10 on October 26th, informing them that they do have to stick with their hours.
that's
So
what,
it takes a couple days, obviously, to get in the mail. I'm not sure when they received it, but it was sent out on the 26th.
Okay, 'cause the one here, it says, October 30th, and they were 2:15 with officer assistance. I don't know how many days it takes to get there, but,
It looks like it was also sent via email, so they would have received it,
yeah,
assuming they check their email on a daily basis.
so I guess I'm gonna ask Sergeant then, are we getting on people about if we know they have certain hours they have to abide by? Are we going in and doing bar checks? Is that what's supposed to happen there?
Something I'd have to refer to the shifts for, because I came from day shift, so
Okay,
I came from day shift and now I'm working second shift, so I can't speak on behalf of what the late power and third shifts are doing without having a sit-down conversation with the,
but these guys came in and laid out their own hours, we didn't coerce them or anything, and they have to abide by them, that's why I was saying.
All right, any other concerns? Motion to receive and file this report is in order then, if that could be done?
I move to receive and file the, license premise report from the police department. Oh, both of them. But do we want to have the?
Yep, the only one will be the one.
Oh.
I'm sorry, can I bring up something that
Hang on, one quick clarification here then. Have we all been looking over, in essence, both reports here then?
yeah.
it's just it's an update for an incident from 2021 that was just generated on a separate report, so that's the second report.
Okay, well, we can, all right, let's hold off on that motion then, if we don't mind then,
Yeah, 'cause it's
because
only one agenda
it's one agenda item. Alder Coe?
Okay, the last page, Thursday, November 4th, Taylor Mart. Officers responded to the Taylor Mart to assist a special agent from the Wisconsin Department of Revenue with an investigation into the illegal sales of tobacco and vapes at this location. Several items of evidentiary value were collected. On 8/2/22, he pled guilty to attempt to evade cigarette tobacco tax and tobacco manufacturing. Records in Racine County case. Then they dismissed one charge, but, I mean, if they're doing this, shouldn't we be calling these people in for this type of thing? Asking you.
Well, that's up to the committee to make that decision, but I will say I was contacted from the Department of Revenue who forwarded this information to me. The Department of Revenue usually only takes on what they consider to be serious violations. When they do refer something to the DA's office, they do believe that there are criminal allegations. In this case, the person was convicted of some criminal offenses. So there are certainly violations here that should be considered by the committee. In the past, the committee has called the person in pursuant to a formal expression of concern, but obviously that's at your discretion.
I guess I would like to do that at this time. Do I make a motion to call them in?
We have a second?
Second. This happened there once before, a long time ago.
Does this charge put their liquor license at risk, for example, at renewal time then? Is this the agent for liquor, or do we know the answer to that offhand then?
It is the agent for liquor? I don't.
They got beer.
For their beer then? See,
I believe
see,
that
I did
is-
it too.
I believe that is the agent, the person who is charged.
So at this point, when, if we let it go till renewal came around, we'd find a background check issue on this person then?
I would have to review the policy guidelines that were revised to see if that would fall into that category. So I'd have to take a look at what the violations were that he was convicted of, and whether it falls into the
Automatic.
type of violations that is prohibited or would prohibit a person from obtaining a license.
Do you have enough information?
Attempting to evade
I can
cigarette tobacco
find that in-
tax, a felony?
I don't know offhand. Find that information.
Is it your intent to call them in for their tobacco license or for their liquor license? Both.
I'd say both at this time, because like I said, this happened a long time ago here. Different owners, but
He was convicted of 2 misdemeanors.
Okay? And that means for his license that it's not an issue then, correct? It's only an issue if he lies about his misdemeanors on the original application, correct?
Give me a second, I can review the policy guidelines.
let it go when he lies.
I know, he's probably watching the Facebook Live.
I don't.
Make sure you don't lie on there.
That would disqualify.
It's, it's a misdemeanor.
Right, so for these specific violations, it doesn't look like it would fall into any of the categories that would disqualify a person unless they make a false statement. Obviously, there are still violations relevant to the alcohol license.
Or to the tobacco license, right? Or,
No, it would be either or if they lied, am I correct?
no,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, one quick second on that. First of all, the actual offenses were tobacco related.
Looks like they were all tobacco related, correct?
So do we have the ability to rescind a tobacco license in the same way we do a liquor
You
license?
do, it's a different procedure for doing that.
Right.
So you can certainly start the process by calling them in to determine whether or not to move forward with the due process. That would be found.
Okay. I haven't had my fresh guide, I should be.
I know. So there is a procedure for revoking or suspending a license. It would be under chapter 22/40.
Sorry, I haven't memorized all the
No,
ordinances
no.
yet.
But you were
Yeah.
navigating that binder a lot quicker than I think we could.
Yeah, yes.
Well, they're looking, Amber, what is the cost of that license?
For cigarettes,
Yeah.
$100 plus $15 record check.
So based on these violations, it would be ground for suspension or revocation of the license. States that prior to suspension or revocation, a due process hearing shall be held before the standing committee, so before the licensing committee here. Written notice of the alleged causes for suspension or revocation shall be provided to the licensee at least 10 days before the hearing, and testimony shall be under oath and subject to cross-examination. So if you wanted to do that, you would vote to call them in, and to start the due process for suspension or revocation. The city clerk's office would send out notice to that person stating what the allegations are. They would come in before you, you would take testimony and decide whether or not to suspend or revoke.
Right? So, okay. Put your hand up.
Second, I'm just sitting here,
Okay,
I'm just second.
I was wondering if it wouldn't be, it sounds dumb, prudent to wait till he files his license and see what he says on his license. If he lies and says he's never been charged with that.
he doesn't.
I think we need to handle what's in front of us.
Yes, you're right.
Tobacco, yeah,
Okay.
Okay, so is your motion then regarding
Yep, just
initiating a
formal complaint.
Yeah.
Special concern.
formal,
Write that down.
all right? And we have a second from Alder Peterson. It's regarding tobacco specifically at this point then.
So would the motion to be to initiate the due process for suspension or revocation of the cigarette license?
Yes.
That's what he said. All right, we have a motion and a second. Further discussion on that item? All in favor?
Wait,
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed you.
Clarity, so is that, I heard formal expression of concern, and then I heard to initiate the due process. Are they one and the same in this?
No, so
for
the formal
instance?
expression of concern is only with respect to the alcohol license,
So
because
this
you
is
are
a
taking
correction.
action
Yep.
based on
Yep.
the cigarette license only. It would be to initiate due process for the suspension or
Which,
revocation.
which Jeff amended his motion to be by saying yes.
Oh. Got a little lost in there.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Now, I believe we can receive and file this report. And we're almost done.
That's a good catch.
Would,
These reports.
you sure you want to receive and file? Didn't we want to put in there, we have not yet put into motion the deployment of the service vehicle and, the detail?
We've added a new item to
Oh.
exactly to accommodate those. In fact, you were at the meeting when
Love
we
it. I
added that.
did. Okay. I move to receive and file, both reports under that agenda item.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Last item, 85922, communication requesting any consideration for formal expressions of concern or other actions pursuant to the police report. Would you read back what Alder Kupelina is about to move for us, please, Amber?
I'm going to try, bear with me, please. So we're gonna have the police department put together a detailed report about double vision with an observation of the shift commander with, the PD and the officer who initiated the extra attention. We will have the police department put a camera or a station outside of double vision. We're going to call in Taylor Mart at 1813.
Let's finish that first one. There was, wasn't there a third item on that one?
No, we got
Just
rid
those
of the
two,
good
okay,
news.
okay.
It's for the police department to
Gotcha.
send links.
Pardon?
It was for the police department to send
Yes,
links
but in
to-
all of that chaos, I don't.
We have the
I got it.
contact number
That's
then.
what I was out there doing.
Okay.
Okay, so PD.
Okay, and the third point was for the police department to supply links for video upload.
If I'm able to find
Able to find,
the calls for service that they're referring to with these links. It'd be a little bit of a process,
yeah, or,
so.
Yeah,
you can do it. Quick procedural question, can we have more than one motion on this particular item, in essence splitting the question, because there's more than one?
Nothing that
location?
prevents the committee from doing that.
Okay, so if you don't mind, I'd like to split the question into first double vision then.
Okay.
All right, so if you make the motion just described by,
So moved, what was?
Okay.
The clerk's office.
okay, so we have a motion and a proper second regarding double vision as described by Amber. Any further discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And we now have the
Taylor Mart.
Taylor Mart one, which Jeff has already made a motion for. So that same motion again, if you read it back, new, for Taylor Mart.
It would be to, initiate the due process procedures for suspension or revocation of the cigarette/tobacco license for Taylor Mart at 1813 Taylor Avenue.
Thank you, Alder Code. We have a second?
Second.
And we have a second. Any discussion on the item? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We are adjourned. Do you think the CDBG meeting is still going on? I'm supposed to go there.